tell I got this song from Money?
Yeah.
Yo, Steak, you think I could do a DJ set at one of your clubs in Orlando?
You sure as fuck can.
That would be so tough. I do it for free.
Good, because I'm not paying you.
I was gonna say, I don't deserve it.
First comment's wild.
What's up, boys?
Money.
Oh. Passion, Caleb, thank you for the sub. 12 months, full year, baby. Let's go. Dude, I think this drop is gonna make up for it, though.
You are listening to Ramble Radio.
A lot of test tubes early today. White-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I've spent a lot of time, Joe. Everybody in the company. 5 days I'm starting to fight for everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ doesn't stop. He won.
This is my alter ego. Anita Max Win. Anita Max Win.
Alright, I need everybody throwing test tubes for this one. You know where to find it. I want to see chat scrolling as soon as this hits. Ready? 10 seconds. Wait. No, don't do it preemptively. Wait, nobody chat. Alright, send him. There we go. Daryl with the sub. Thank you, brother. 13 months. Let's go.
Dude, bro. What do you want me to say?
Boys,
I ain't
how are we?
fucking
Happy
shitting on
Saturday.
Heroes Day.
Chat is moving today. Look at all these test tubes. We're ready to attack the slate. Boys, feel free to come on, join me. Don't leave me hanging. All right, perfect. Perfect little wake me up today. Perfect little song. How are we, guys? Thanks
Money
for coming
wants
on.
his glaze, but you
Feels
ain't
so
getting
good
glaze.
today, man. Feels so
It
It does
good.
feel like a good day. I'm not going to lie. I think we're winning.
Dude,
Yeah, I
I
love
think
this
so
slate.
too.
I'm loving this slate.
I think everybody in here is drooling over this slate a little bit. This is like the first Saturday where it's like, it feels like a real Saturday. It feels like last year where we'd wake up and everybody was playing.
It's the first Saturday with real conference games.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
like, this is like officially we are back. So,
Yep. I got a ton of plays locked in already. I was spending a lot of time last night doing some research. I know Royal has a ton of props today. Jeff has some sides, and Steak is even dabbling with the prop, and we'll find out what that is.
Got one prop.
I love it. This is a great group to win some money with today in college basketball. So, without further ado, let me bring up the slate and let's talk about it, boys. But were there any spots before we get into just go like in order? Were there any spots that were really like catching your eyes that were some of your favorites?
I think
Or like weird lines or anything that kind of stuck out to you guys?
I think we'll get to them now.
I think you just got to touch on Kentucky first. It starts so early,
Yeah.
and then
We'll just go in order. That's fine. All right, beautiful. On the ones and twos over here. All right, who wants to kick us off? Florida, Kentucky.
I mean, yeah, Jeff. I think that's when Jeff plays. He's got to start it. I got to play here too. It's not Kentucky though. It's a total.
Ooh.
What do you like?
I like the over.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense.
I mean, I literally tried to find an angle. I was like, okay, if Florida wins this game or if Kentucky wins this game, either way, I still think it's soaring. I'm more scared than you about Kentucky just because I feel like you got to pay a Kentucky tax every time you bet them, especially in rough. And the Gators have just been tough to fade, but I'm still excited to hear your pitch.
Yeah, it's a little different for me because I got this money line when it dropped at -115. So, definitely like a different stance than laying 4 points or taking a -190 on the money line. But I mean, it's Florida's looked great. Obviously, everyone knows that they haven't lost a game, 13-0. They've been great ATS. And their guards have looked amazing. Walter Clayton, Elijah Martin's been really good. Will Richard, and their bigs, probably the best front court in the nation, if I'm honest. They have like 4 bigs that are actually all extremely good. But their biggest weakness, like last year, has been their defense. I'm not saying their defense is bad. I'm just saying they can't contain the dribble. And Lamont Butler is one of those point guards where he's a vet, he's experienced. This whole Kentucky team's experienced. Same with Florida, though. But I just see Lamont Butler carving up this defense, getting in, kicking it out to shooters. Kentucky's one of the best offensive teams in the country. There's no debate in that. And for me, it's a spot where Kentucky, the way I'm playing this, I want Kentucky to beat Florida. And then on Tuesday, I'm maxing Florida against Tennessee at home in a bounce back spot. So it's kind of going to be, to me, the way I see it, Kentucky takes away Florida's perfect record. Florida's pissed, go back home to the swamp. Tennessee comes in undefeated, number 1 team in the country. They hand them their loss. That's kind of how I always play conference play. There's a lot of spots where I don't want to say it's predictable, but it's hard to beat Kentucky and Rupp. I think the line moving kind of not confirms that, but supports that. And Florida's strength of schedule, if I'm honest, I'm not really impressed with. I'm not like wowed by any games. Kentucky, I mean, they beat Gonzaga. They've beaten Duke. So they're tested, and I think this is a game they have circled. I think Mark Pope is one of the best coaches in the country. I think a lot of people slept on him because he was at BYU the past few years. But after watching him coach in that Gonzaga game where they were down 17 at half or something like that, and they made adjustments, I mean, he's an underrated coach. This team is amazing. Andrew Carr's a bucket. Amari Williams is bucket. And they have the size to combat Florida's offensive rebounding, which is the biggest strength of their game. Florida excels when because they're grabbing so many offensive rebounds, and they have great shooters that they just kick it out to. Amari Williams is a giant. Brandon Garrison's a good rebounder. Andrew Carr's a good rebounder. Otega Owe, like even as a forward, like small forward, he's a great rebounder. They have athletes all over the court. So being able to neutralize that part of the game is big. Everyone on X is on Kentucky. But it's Florida undefeated getting 4 points as well. So I knew it was going to be popular. I don't really care. Conference play, I more so bet on spots than anything else. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Hard to argue that.
I liked what you said. I mean, Florida's been a tough team. I'm not getting involved in this game personally because I think Florida's one of those teams that I just try to avoid at all costs. I was looking at it last night. I saw their money line at -140. They're at like -2.5. I think it was past the point where you got it at. But it's a lot of steam towards Kentucky. I just don't see the value there for Kentucky anymore. For someone holding like a -130, -115 money line ticket for Kentucky, you got value. That's a great ticket. I agree with the Kentucky side, but am I willing to lay 4 against Florida, one of the best teams in terms of offense in the country? I can't get there personally. But like, I think I'm late to the party with Kentucky. If anything, if you really want to back Kentucky and you don't have a ticket yet, I think you wait for a live line. And if you can't get one for a money line at a favorable value, then just stay away, to be honest with you. That's my honest opinions on the game. I think I know where you're going, Steak, with the total. I definitely sign off there too. But I'll let you kind of.
The only thing I will say, like, as well, like when I was talking about Florida's strength of schedule, now that I actually have it pulled up, like their best team they played was North Carolina, and they won by 6, and that's a horrible matchup for UNC.
And
Florida
UNC,
is-
and you mentioned Gonzaga too. I mean, those two teams play very similar ball, and honestly have been shaky at some points of the season. So
I'm
can't really
not
attribute
impressed
those
with
wins.
Florida's schedule, bro. I mean, they've played one good team, and it's UNC, and they're frauds, and they won by 6.
they're barely good.
Like, I do think they're very good. I don't think they're what are they ranked 6th in the country? I don't think they're the 6th best team in the country. I mean, they could be, but right now, like to me, you have one good win against a fraudulent UNC team that has no size, and you're like the biggest team in college basketball, and you didn't beat them by 20. That's where I'm like, I mean, their second best win is Arizona State, and then Florida State. Like those aren't good teams. Arizona State's all right, but like
They're okay, yeah.
it's not Kentucky. You look at Kentucky. Kentucky's played Duke, Clemson on the road. That's a very tough game. Clemson
Clemson is actually showing that they're pretty elite. Yeah.
Yeah, they're solid.
Yeah,
They're definitely solid.
So, and Kentucky last time they had a big game, they played Ohio State. They lost by 20.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be sleepwalking. I think this is kind of like this is a spot where you have, for me, I have to take Kentucky, but it is different when I'm holding the money line ticket at the price I have versus laying 4 points. So
Yeah.
I will say that's very fair.
I think Maddie kind of hit it on the head. Exactly what I'm resonating with. State?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the total's high for anyone who follows me and knows I just try to bet like the contrarian or sides of a bet. I don't think the total's high. I think it's a perfectly appropriate total for this game. I just think when you draw up a game plan for both of these teams, both of them, regardless if you like Florida or Kentucky, they need to play high pace. And neither team thinks the key to winning this game is slowing it down. So I just like the over a lot. Because I'm here with Royal, I cooked up a prop for this game. Amari Williams over 9.5 rebounds. Jeff kind of touched on it. Florida, one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the country. So if I'm Kentucky and I'm thinking like my keys to winning this game is minimizing offensive rebounding, he's the guy that does that. So honestly, I like him to go way over 9.5 rebounds.
Yeah, I'm tailing
Royal?
that. No, I'm tailing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think
too
that
good
too.
with the rebound.
I mean, they're gonna-
in college, but I mean, I feel like this is auto tail worthy. Stakes first college prop. Come on.
Yeah.
If I lose, I'm never betting another one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, DJ. Yeah, you just got to do it. I took Jackson Robinson this game. Was kind of talking to Jeff about it. He's like their 2 guard, you want to call him, like secondary ball handler, kind of more spot up shooter. Where I think Lamont Butler's gonna get through the first line of defense pretty easily, but I think he's kind of get stonewalled like in the paint a little bit, or doubled or hedged something, and just kick out to the outside shooters. This guy's pretty much night and day at home. Just pulling it up here. 13 points at home, 31% at home from 3. So just hasn't really done much in 2 games. I mean, they absolutely blew the doors off Brown. Bad loss to Ohio State where he shot 3 for 11. So I do like the over as well. I mean, Kentucky's going to have to score, in my opinion, because I think Florida's going to have the looks at least. Whether it equates to points or not, I don't know. But I think Kentucky's going to have to score to win this game.
I like
So I
it.
got 10.5 with him.
I like it. Awesome. I think we have a good read on this game. A lot of different angles, honestly. I'm surprised we have so many different looks in this one game. I will say on that over stake, you kind of get a little bit of extra value in terms of having it be an early game with such a high total. I feel like people will be less inclined to take an over in this kind of spot. So I like your read
Yeah, I
on it
agree.
for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure.
We can move on if we got nothing else.
That's all I got.
Cool. Georgia, Mississippi. Old Miss has been extremely impressive this year, to me at least. They're showing that I wasn't too impressed in terms of the teams they played this year. I mean, they played some decent comp. Their best win was obviously that game against BYU, and they played Purdue extremely close, but they haven't played too much comp other than that. And then that game they just played against Memphis. I like Old Miss. It's a tough spot for me to get in front of Georgia, but I want to hear what your guys' thoughts. I'm actually kind of liking this Old Miss team the more that I watch them. But
Yep.
what are your guys' thoughts?
I'm right there with you, man. I mean, the line to me screams Mississippi.
DGen with 5. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah.
19 months. Let's go,
Love
man.
you, DGen. Let's go.
You know, it's so funny. I just subbed to DGen for 19 months, and and DJ just subbed for 19 months. I
That's
love that,
actually
man.
a long fucking time.
Ride or dies, man. That's what we call ride or dies. Shout out you,
Let's
bro.
go.
I don't have a play blocked in this game, but curious to hear what you guys think about it because Ole Miss is a team I don't like to fade, but I'm curious to see if you guys think that Mississippi looks easy in this spot or not.
I don't think they do, actually. I kind of think Georgia plus 4.5 looks kind of cozy. I don't have a play in it either, but my first glance at this game was it's tough to lay 4.5 against Georgia. I just don't know. Is anyone in love with Ole Miss yet? I agree with you. They've been impressive, but is anyone fully bought in yet on Ole Miss? I kind of don't think so. For me, it's kind of a show me game for Ole Miss if they're legit, because if they wipe the floor with Georgia, I think you can put them in like the next tier. I'm not going to play it, but I do certainly lean Ole Miss.
Yep, and to kind of compare the spread, I mean, obviously Marquette was a neutral floor, but exact same spread essentially. They were 5.5 dogs against Marquette on that neutral. Now Mississippi is laying that 4.5 number. And if you look back at Georgia's last few games, I mean, their comp in their last 5 have been terrible. I mean, they played a banged up Notre Dame team, and their last 6 games have been, I mean, bottom of the barrel comp. So if we're talking dumbbell theory, I definitely lean Ole Miss here in the spot. But
yeah. Coochie, real quick, it's Amari Williams over 9.5 rebounds. Sorry, I didn't see your question. Amari Williams from Kentucky, 9.5 rebounds.
I didn't see his.
Am I lagging? Am I good?
Yeah.
Am I good now?
I think you're good.
Holy crap, dude.
It's all good, brother. Do you have any
Everyone
thoughts on the
started-
Georgia Ole Miss?
Not really. No, what I've noticed is -4.5. They don't hit.
That is true. It's
But-
been a cursed number.
But I don't have a lean on the game. Like I don't know. Like you put a gun on my head, I wouldn't even know what side I would take. Probably just flip a coin for me.
I agree with
laugh
Stick.
at-
I think Georgia looks kind of easy, like plus 4.5. I mean, Georgia's been friendly to everybody while betting them. I feel like when everyone has bet them, they've come through. And this Mississippi team, a little shaky. Obviously, they're playing better, but I think he hit it pretty like spot on. Like I don't think anyone's really bought in. So that would be the side I would lean, but
I will
I think
say
it's kind of a gross number. Yeah.
I will say Silas Demery, Georgia's point guard, is a turnover machine. And on the road against a team that pressures the shit out of the ball could get ugly. I think Georgia has the advantage down low, but if Ole Miss is forcing turnovers, they probably blow them out of the gym.
And this is, I mean, a spot if any kind of team is going to be causing turnovers more so than not, it's going to be in their first true road game, right?
Yeah.
This place is
No,
probably going to
100%.
be rocking.
Yeah.
Eve is on Georgia. Interesting. Okay, cool.
I mean, Georgia's the sharp side. Like it's a sharp side, but yeah.
I'm surprised to hear that, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Is it?
NC State, Wake Forest. Both teams that have been pretty ratchet, especially Wake Forest in terms of expectations this year. Thoughts here, guys? I have a play in the next game in Dayton, but nothing in this NC State Wake game.
I got
Man,
nothing.
I was looking at
Both
it
teams
too.
suck.
I kind of agree with you. I think Wake Forest had a big win that they almost sold for Syracuse. Obviously, the box score doesn't reflect that, but I mean, they let Syracuse back in. I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like Wake Forest is a little fraudulent. I want to see them hit their stride because I like their team. I think
don't
Sal's
know.
a star.
See, that's the thing. It's funny you say
They
that
suck.
because I was thinking to
That's what I'm
myself,
saying.
I think Wake might be turning around at
Nope.
this
That's
point.
why I don't want to
mean,
bet on it and
no.
find out. I want to see.
You
it.
look at their losses, it's they haven't lost to any dog shit teams. I mean, Clemson, Florida, Texas A&M. I mean, maybe
they
they haven't
suck.
looked impressive in their games against lower comp, but they haven't lost to anybody bad.
Yeah, but when they do
I'm out
lose,
on them.
it's just like they look terrible. Like blown
I agree.
out by Florida, A&M, Clemson. I mean,
You also have
Michigan
to
by-
realize
beat Michigan, but-
their only big man is Efton Reed.
Yeah.
You're not winning basketball games when that's your big, bro. He is horrible. He
Honestly,
is
the other guy
ratchet.
too. I bet on him. Their power forward. I can't remember.
Spillers.
Spiller, dude. That dude cannot shoot for the fucking life of him.
I know. You think it's
He
like
can
Mark
only
Mitchell
make
at Duke
dunks
last
and
year,
shit.
bro.
Yeah.
I know. It's literally Mark Mitchell at Duke last year, chucking threes
Watching
in the
that
corner.
dude shoot free
It's like,
throws.
bro, you
is
can't shoot. Stop
painful.
shooting. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm out on that team. I think Salas is their only hope, and he was a little shaky until recently. So I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
I think losing Boopy, is that what was that his name? Boopy Miller. I think losing him is like really hurting them.
I'm
Yeah,
not
he's on
saying that
SMU
Lakers
now.
looked impressive, Destiny. Trust me, I'm not saying they've looked impressive. I just think people are quick to the gun and calling them rat shit.
Dude, I've watched Wake
Playing an
play
NC
like a
State
few
team.
times this year. And they suck. Like, there's nothing else to it. They aren't coached good. They play with zero energy. Parker Fredrickson thinks he's like Luka Doncic, and Hunter Salas is either Kobe Bryant or like Brian Scalabrine, bro. Like, they're not good.
I'm not dying on the Wake
Parker
Forest, though, so I'm off.
Would you guys have went into this game being surprised that Wake Forest would be laying 5.5 against anyone in the ACC with how bad they've been?
That's my
No,
thought.
NC
I
State's
mean,
looked horrible.
No, for sure. I agree. They have, for sure. Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm going to put mine on Do Not Disturb.
I don't know, man. I mean, I lean Wake
It
Forest.
does.
It's
It
not a
does.
play that I can take, but
He does have a point though. It does seem a little large.
I was looking at a weird trend with Virginia too. Following games versus Virginia, few teams that have taken losses. I believe SMU, Memphis, and Tennessee, St. John's have all taken losses after playing Virginia. Which is interesting. Just a trend I found.
You can't count the St. John's game. That was against Baylor that they lost.
Think
That game
so.
was crazy.
I'm just saying. Just found an interesting trend.
Dude, St. John's was up 6 with like 5 seconds left, and they ended up losing. Some shit like that. It was crazy.
I also took the under, but now as we have this conversation, I'm starting to wonder if that's a square under, because obviously I felt the way you guys did before we had this conversation that both teams kind of suck. I did go under 137. I'm second guessing myself a little bit as we talk this out.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I don't really have any read on that total personally.
In your defense, though, Steak, I mean, Wake Forest is coming off a pretty big win.
Yeah.
Could be like,
yeah.
snooze fest a little bit, but that's what I'm saying. Though, like, I don't want to fade Syracuse because if this is Wake Forest, if this is them catching their stride and going on a run, I don't know. But to me, it's just you kind of watch how these teams perform in conference play, see if they can turn it around.
Yep.
right.
Next game in Dayton. I mean, I think this number is huge for Dayton to be laying on the road. I mean, George Washington, people would look at their schedule and see an 11-3 team, but this is in terms of strength of schedule, George Washington ranks last in all of college basketball. They've played absolute plumbers the entire season, and this is a pure coming down to earth moment. Dayton doesn't turn the ball over, and that's something that George Washington strives in terms of creating offense with. I think it's just a horrible matchup in terms of George Washington, what they've seen success in this year, creating turnovers, transition buckets. Dayton doesn't allow that. They play a great half-court set, and honestly, I think they're just a more athletic, more talented team in a spot where I want to back them. Coming off lost to Cincinnati and then that LaSalle turn-up game. I mean, they haven't covered in 3 straight games, and before that, they were decently wagons in terms of ATS. So I feel like we're getting somewhat of a buy low for Dayton, laying a big number on the road. So I like Dayton a lot in this spot, personally.
Yeah.
They're a good fucking team.
Yeah, Dayton's tough. They're really good. They're going to win a tournament game. There's no doubt in my mind they're winning a tournament game. But I have no read on this game, I'm not going to lie. I mean, George Washington, like, I don't know if I think this line's huge, if I'm honest, but I don't know. I think George Washington has a good record, so, like, maybe people think that it's an intriguing spot to take 8.5 points with them.
That's what I've been looking into this year. It's been showing me somewhat of success. I feel like 8.5 is short, personally. I know it's down to 7.5 some spots, too. I'm not worried about it, to be honest. I think George Washington is somewhat of the public side. I'm seeing bets of money coming in on that side, so I'm not really worried about it, to be honest. It's been sitting at 8.5, 7.5,
Support
whatever.
that, bud. Support that, bud, man. Your eyes suck. We're frauds.
What up, Eric? Let's move on from this game. I can tell you guys don't got anything in it. Anything here? Assuming no.
No.
I lean Toledo, but I'm not getting there.
I'm going to take Royal. I'm going to take Toledo.
You like them?
Just straight fucking basketball brain. Have you watched Western Michigan at all this year? I'm sure most of you probably haven't, but that's got to be one of the worst teams.
I actually have watched them twice.
They're awful, right?
I watched them melt down against Valparaiso, and then I watched them play.
I
Michigan
faded
State
them
last
when I
game.
had Valpo.
I will say though, Western Michigan they've only had him back for like 4 or 5 games now. He's like their best player. But at the same time, they still suck, and Toledo can score. So
The only thing I'll add is I actually a game from yesterday sort of influenced me to like Toledo today. I don't know if anyone did you bet Iona, Jeff?
no.
Yes, sir. So I bet Iona. That's embarrassing to admit, but I did. And I knew it was the wrong play. And I was like, it just looks sharp as shit. So I pressed Iona. And right after I pressed it, I was like, why did I press this? Like, there's no way you need to get that sharp in this type of game. There's not so much action that it's a good sharp versus square read. Toledo, Western Michigan, in my opinion, is the same exact thing. Like, I don't think you need to get cute and try to be sharp with Western Michigan. I think Toledo is the right play.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
W reasoning.
The
Handles probably just 20 grand on the game. So.
on his TV.
I love those picks.
Who texted that?
Eric.
Wait, show it on the big screen again.
Yeah, I need to see that.
Guys, you need to send these pictures. I love seeing these where you guys are watching them. Like on the TV, on the fucking car dash.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's cool.
Am I off there, Crutch? If I am, tell me.
Villanova DePaul, anything here?
No, but Villanova is coming off that insane ending at Butler. 3.5 unit swing.
It's giving you nightmares. I can tell.
I mean, they're down 13. They had 51 points in 35 minutes and went on a 22-1 run to end the game. So maybe you could fade him. I don't know. Screw that. Eric Dixon is a player of the year. Moving on.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed about that, but
UNC Notre
hard to deny at
Dame.
this point.
I'd be lying if I said this doesn't look like somewhat of an easy bounce back spot for UNC off that loss to Louisville. I initially wanted to go UNC, but who the fuck wants to back Notre Dame? I just feel like they're just not a sexy, trendy team that people like to get behind, especially against a UNC team coming off a loss. 4.5 on the road is nothing to. I mean, that doesn't feel uncomfortable at all to me. Any thoughts here from you guys?
Bro, I think UNC is not good, bro. Like, Ian Jackson is the only guard I trust with the ball in his hands. Seth Trimble, I'm sorry, everyone says he's great. He's mid. RJ Davis, I don't know what happened to him. He sucks now. And Elliot Cadeau, I mean, he's trash. He's a cone on defense, and he turns it over. And they have no bigs. We'll say Notre Dame is kind of small too, so it's probably going to be guards v. guards. Total implies UNC is going to be keeping pace here. But there is no shot I'm ever laying points with UNC on the road this year. So it's either Notre Dame or nothing for me.
Yeah, I took Shrewsbury. I took Notre Dame's guard. I've kind of been I target UNC a lot if there's an elite kind of scoring guard in the other team, and Shrewsbury happens to be that with Burton injured still. I mean, this guy is just incredible at home too.
47%, that's not true.
Almost 40% from the three as well, averaging 17.5. I mean, we've all seen UNC play. It's ugly out there. It's defense. It's who can hit more shots. Kind of like Kentucky last year to a certain extent. Just outscore them, and you win. So I like him. I think after a loss for Notre Dame, I think he's going to come out firing, and it's pretty much just him and Tate Davis just taking almost every shot. So I think one of them
no one's guarding Tate Davis on Notre Dame. I can promise.
That's what I'm saying. They might have to double him or some shit because he's a problem.
Burton is still out. Yeah, Crezo. Burton is still out. But yeah, I like Shrewsbury. I like Tate Davis a lot today too. I think Tate Davis.
Yeah, I just didn't want to lay like 21 or something.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But he's an amazing around the rim scorer. He can also stretch the floor. There is not a single person on UNC that can guard him. You're either going to have one of the bigs on the perimeter guarding him or one of the guards down low guarding him. So I do like Aloko too. I mean, that kid is a sniper.
Yeah.
And UNC allows a lot of threes and they give up a high percentage. So I don't know. Interesting game though. I hope Notre Dame wins outright just for the sake of my Duke futures, but I also don't think UNC is a real threat to kind of win.
They're not, man. I'll say this: UNC fucking sucks, and I don't think you're ever going to find value on UNC because they're UNC, especially not yet. Maybe later in the season after they continue to play really fucking bad because they're really bad. Maybe there'll be some value, but my advice to my friends would be don't put your money on UNC this year at all.
The more we talk about it, the more I want to tap Notre Dame team total today, dude.
I like that. That's pretty much why I took Shrewsbury. I mean, coming off a loss back at home versus a very poor defense that's going to play fast and probably put up points themselves. I mean, Notre Dame's going to have to score if they want any chance.
Yeah, true. Also, I will say offense doesn't always travel. When you're especially conference play, like if you're backing a road team, you got to back a road team that has defense. Like you look at Iowa yesterday, Wisconsin scored 113 points because defense travels, but offense doesn't always travel. And if you don't have a good defense as it is, and you go on the road and your offense isn't clicking because you're on the road, you're getting popped.
You're also getting Georgia Tech,
not-
or you're also getting Notre Dame allowing 60% from the field to Georgia Tech, over 40% from three. So you could back Notre Dame's defense too. I think I might have to tap 4.5 on Notre Dame today. I mean, you got to think people are thinking UNC is going to bounce back from that loss, and in this kind of environment on the road,
UNC still ranked, right?
Feels like a trap game for UNC, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Why
agree.
does it say UNC's ranked? There's no way they're ranked, right?
No, they're not. They're always wrong for some reason.
Yeah,
I was always tripping.
Also, I mean, this line is opened up as 6, and it's at 4.5 now. The money line for UNC opened up at -250. Now it's -190. I don't even have to check the splits. I know UNC is going to be public.
Yeah,
They're a blue blood. They're always going to be public. So,
Correct.
yeah, that's kind of
that's a lot of steam, though.
yeah, but UNC also sucks. So,
Yeah, but if everybody knows that, everybody fades that.
I think this is going to be a sharps and squares colliding because Money was actually talking about it. He wanted to take UNC last night, and I was telling him it kind of looked sketch. And yeah, the more we talk about it, the more I want to take the Fighting Irish. But we can move on. OK State, West Virginia. Any thoughts
who's
here?
stopping Riley Leonard? Yeah, I'll see you later.
okay. I will say West Virginia.
Obvious fade spot.
Win. They're off the outright win, and Oklahoma State starters just went 2 for 22 from the floor, and played Houston's defense. So I'm not
Spot
playing.
says OK State for sure.
Yeah,
I
there's
agree
no
with you.
shot on. There's no shot on betting on Oklahoma State again this year.
No.
No chance.
I played the under. I basically it's like the exact opposite reason for me with Gators in Kentucky. Like for me, I looked at Oklahoma State and West Virginia and thought both of their keys to success was slowing this game down. And so I tapped under 143.5.
Let me see. It's at 142.5 now, Steak, I believe. So you're getting some CLV there.
Hopefully I don't get too much more. I'm cooked.
I don't mind that. West Virginia's defense has been sneaky elite this year.
Are you worried at all about OK State just playing Houston and not breaking 50 though?
Yeah, no, not really. I don't think that I am actually. I thought that game would have been the obvious under, and I feel like this is the less obvious under. And like Jeff said, West Virginia's defense is solid, but I don't know if anyone is thinking of that yet or has gotten to that conclusion yet.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Just wanted.
I think West Virginia is a very underrated defense. Their defense is good. Also, if Tucker DeVries doesn't play again, I mean, he's their best offensive player, so it's not bad.
Oh, here's money in here to glaze West Virginia.
Okay. My bad, bro. I'm trying to compliment you, and you're still getting mad.
Yeah, Zay Flowers Pro Bowler, right? I bet. What a joke that is.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson MVP, I bet, bro.
Yep. Okay, Steve. They just sell a lot of
Brian
people.
Thomas not in the Pro Bowl. That's a crime. Crime.
Yeah,
Anyway,
deep popped. He's probably going to redshirt, get another year of eligibility, if I had to guess. Also, my inside West Virginia source told me that could be true. We all know who the source is.
Yeah.
that was a sick joke. Sick joke. I ain't even a Jaguars fan either.
Arkansas, Tennessee. Your Vols, Jeffy, laying 12.
Yeah.
I think they exceeded your expectations. I think they blew them out of the water, to be honest with you. You weren't too high on them, and look at them, man. Any thoughts here, boys? Any plays?
So I don't know if you guys have known, obviously Kentucky and Tennessee is a huge rivalry in college basketball. And it's kind of, can you stop? It's kind of, seriously, Alex, go away. It's more of Dude, she's like fiddling with my arm. Calipari was the coach at Kentucky. Like this, to me, I almost view this as a Kentucky-Tennessee game, just because you have, I mean, it's John Calipari. It's a Kentucky team. Kentucky literally had all these players lined up to go to Kentucky. John Calipari goes, I'm going to Arkansas. All the players followed him. And I think Tennessee obviously knows that. So I think this is going to be a get-up game. And I really don't have a lean, if I'm honest. I hope Tennessee rolls because I want to fade Tennessee at Florida on Tuesday. So I'm really hoping Tennessee just beats the brakes off Arkansas. But I don't know. Like, I really don't have a lean on this game. I try not to get a lead. I don't know. I don't have any confidence in
I
either
feel like
side.
you never. I feel like
I'll
you
tell you what.
never can read Tennessee.
I really can't. I really can't. I like, unless it's like an obvious spot, but like to me, it's like they've looked so good where it's like laying 12. That's a lot. But at the same time, I'm not sitting here like, damn, that's a big line just because of how good they've looked.
I think the
Arkansas,
scariest,
they've looked suspect. So
the scariest bet in this game is Arkansas's team total under. I mean, you're getting a high octane offense in Arkansas off
I don't
290
know
plus
about
games.
that, bro. They're playing
they're at
Tennessee.
65.5 for Arkansas. I know
They're
it's
playing-
Tennessee. It's still 65.
Yeah, that's fair.
They've
That's
hit that in every single game except for one, and it was a sleepwalk game where they played Troy. Like, to me, I think that team total is fucking absurd, bro. Absurd.
I can't believe this, bro. I can't believe I backed Louisville over.
Yeah, fuck that.
Dude, I mean, that's like that was like very early in the year though, and like
Oh yeah, it was like a pick 'em, right?
no one thought Tennessee was gonna be this good. Let's just be clear. We also thought Louisville was gonna be better, but definitely was way off. If they played again, Tennessee would be laying 10.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think this is a fat spread.
I do too.
Really?
I think it's kind of telling. I actually I liked Tennessee going into this chat, and now I'm starting to like them even more. I like that Jeff the fan is skeptical, and I like what MJ said about the Arkansas team total under because that is a crazy number for them. I think Tennessee probably fucking rolls in this game.
Yep.
I
I'm
do too.
with you.
It seems like their last game. I mean, they won by 15. It's 30-point spread versus Norfolk. I mean, to me, they were looking ahead. I think they come out firing. I mean, they've scored big time in big time games, in my opinion. So I think they were waiting for the spot. I mean, I like Tennessee as well.
I mean, first true road game for Arkansas too, and they haven't gotten this amount of points. I mean, even close in any other game. I mean, they played Illinois on a neutral. We're getting 4 points. Played Michigan on a neutral, got 4 points and 1 outright. And then Baylor, another 4-point underdog spread. So seeing triple that, yeah, that's a lot of respect for Tennessee. I think more so for the defense. I'm going to be punching in Arkansas TT for sure.
And I'll be
Little
honest,
Rocky Top.
I think Arkansas is good. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're a tad bit overrated just because they have a ton of big names, and obviously Boogie Flan's exciting freshman, and they got Coach Cal now. But like, they're not as good as they should be, in my opinion. But they kind of get that brand, so I think Tennessee kind of puts them in their spot today. I took Milicic, the center. I just think he's a mismatch there. I know they have size. They got the 7'2" dude. They got Jonas Adu, but not really great defenders. So I took him. I think.
Jonas Adu revenge game.
Yeah. I mean, I want no part in that versus Tennessee, but yeah, I
He
think
ain't doing shit, bro. He is
I
not
think
doing
Ziegler
anything.
and the guards are going to get him open. I mean, some games he has 8 3-point attempts. Like, this guy fires, so I like him a lot today.
You
Also,
say Arkansas is overrated. I don't know how it's possible to be the number one team and still kind of seem underrated, but
I agree.
for me, Tennessee kind of seems underrated.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone thinks they should be under.
I
undefeated.
also, this is like one of the best matchups guard wise in a long time. Tennessee, obviously Zakai Ziegler, and then Billy. Jesus, what's his name? Boogie Flan. Guess where they're both
dog.
from? Both from the Bronx.
New York.
And that's going to be a
New
dogfight
York.
all game. And both of them have clamps. Both of them are elite offensively. Boogie Flan more of the scorer. Zakai Ziegler. I mean, he's coming off a game. He had like 16 assists or something the other night. But
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm not betting it, but I actually don't mind what you guys said at all.
Yep, I love it. I love that extra narrative of that like rivalry narrative with Calipari too. So,
Matty
Speak
Moore, It's probably just because late money's coming in on Florida now. Because the line got up to like 4, which is egregious. I'm not even gonna lie.
URI report.
About URI. That line.
They ain't winning.
Flipped. The
They
line
ain't winning.
flipped.
No, they are not winning. They are frauds. They're gonna prove it all conference play. Keep scrolling.
Everyone's favorite team. Butler.
Yeah,
Butler
keep scrolling.
St. John's.
Get the logo out of here. Get
I
the
wanted
logo
to-
out.
I wanted to ask what your thoughts. I kind of wanted to square up with St. John's team total over.
I was gonna say I have a prop as well. Kinda
Just
ties
fade
into
Butler in any way, shape, or form. You should actually live bet St. John's when there's 5 minutes left in the game.
that.
You probably make
Butler's
out good.
winning outright today.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you
you
know,
don't.
Butler's 100% covering the spread. There's none.
My thing is, I
Can't
mean,
believe
you
go back.
get St. John's shooting below 40%. I mean, this is one of the best offenses in the country, in my opinion. Playing a Butler team, I feel like it's a perfect tune-up spot. I can't say that it's sharp by any means. I didn't get there to the table yet. I wanted to talk to you guys about it first, but I lean St. John's team total. I don't want to overthink it here. But what are your guys' thoughts there?
I like it. I mean, Butler's defense is solid on paper. I mean, top 100 in every metric for the most part. But I like the St. John's team. We were high on them before the season. I think they got a lot of good players.
Mhm.
I think it's a good spot for them as well. I mean, Butler obviously coming off that brutal. I don't even know what to call that. But point being, I think Butler's going to come out fired up. I mean, you just got to bounce back from that. I think St. John's is going to have to match them and score as well to win. I mean, cover the spread too. It's a big spread.
I don't want to
So,
back St.
I like
John's
them.
on the spread purely for that reason with Butler.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to back Butler. So that's kind of where I got to St. John's team total. Kind of like full game over. Yeah, I could get there. Yeah, I could get there too. It's just I don't really want to back Butler, but it feels like a good spot after they burned a lot of people, including Jeff.
Yeah.
And me.
And
Oh,
State.
you're on them Tuesday.
A lot
Yeah.
of people were. A lot of
They are-
people
I
were.
took
genuine terrorists.
Kadary Richmond, St. John's guard. I just like his matchup today, and I think they scored too. So much better at home. He's shooting 50% from the field. I mean, just got to back this guy at home. Simple as that. That's crazy.
He's all-
T-Ray.
Wow, yeah. All right, let's keep moving.
Click on that.
I didn't mean to. Whoops. Misclick. Anything here, guys?
Not for me.
Kind of leaned Indiana State there. I don't know if anyone peeped that, but off that.
Yeah,
overtime
I
loss.
don't. I peeped the game, but I don't know. That's
So
another thing where it's like Toledo and stuff, like that Toledo game, like Steak said, like
Yeah,
Evansville's sharp, but I think Indiana State might roll.
I agree.
I will say before we move on, shout out the 200 plus in here, man. That's
Hell yeah.
conference play is
On
really
Twitch.
back on Twitch,
On
man.
Twitch.
That's awesome. Drop a test tube, drop a W. Thank you guys so much for the support, man. That's fucking cool. Thank you guys.
W's.
Um,
Yeah, if you guys, everyone, just give some subs, please. We need. No, I'm kidding.
That'll do it.
We're gonna up
That'll
the
do
ads if you don't. We're gonna up the ads if you guys don't sub.
60% of the time will be ads if you guys don't start subbing.
Now.
We'll just perma ban all of you. We're perma banning all non subs.
we'll be streaming to 0
11 a.m.
viewers.
sharp.
That's fine. I think with BYU Houston here, it's a super interesting situation. So I think BYU is somewhat of a decent team in terms of matchup. If you can say any team matches up well offensively against this Houston defense at home, I mean, we're just getting Houston coming through in somewhat of a square spot. I know OK State was super sharp in that game where they were getting 11, but doesn't it kind of feel like this is the spot for BYU? I have a weird feeling about it. It's really tough to fade Houston at home, especially when they're laying double digits. But I don't know, man. BYU seems like the perfect matchup in terms of how they can shoot from outside in the perimeter to stay competitive with Houston. We've seen the teams that Houston really just destroys is the teams that kind of live and die with the inside scoring, and BYU is not that type of team. So I think if their shots are falling from behind the arc, they can cover this number pretty easily. I don't want to say easily, but it's super tough to fade the Cougars in general. But this feels like the spot coming off Houston coming through and a super square spot. So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean BYU's got talent. They're not a bad team at all.
agreed.
I have a hard time fading Houston's defense. Like they're just incredible. So I'm not gonna lie. Like Oklahoma State, like plus 11.5. They lost by 13, and their starter shot 2 for 22. They missed like 8 open layups. Honestly, I wouldn't even like Houston is off a cover. If you told me Houston was scoring like 55 points, I would tell you they're not covering. But I don't know. I don't know what to think about this game. If I'm honest, like line is very sharp with BYU.
Dilgod, I hope you're still in here. By the way, thank you for the subs, man. I completely missed that. Thank you, brother.
Hell yeah,
Thank
Dilgod.
Love you, Dilgod.
I
Wisconsin.
think Brigham Young looks comfortable a little bit, plus 9.5.
Especially with that low total.
My basketball brain tells me it's BYU. My betting brain tells me don't fade Houston at home. Just avoid it. It's probably smart to just
Steam as
keep
well.
going in my pocket with that.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I actually lean Houston if I'm being completely honest with you, but there's just a 0 chance I get to the counter with it.
Fair.
I'm kind of with Crutch here too. Like, do you really want to place BYU? To be honest,
No, that's why I haven't. That's why I haven't. But I can't.
I
lie
do
to you.
know.
Just
yeah.
avoided these like big spreads. Well, mostly on the favorite side, I guess. But
Also,
Yeah.
where was the Oklahoma State Houston game? Was it in Houston?
In Houston,
No.
I believe.
In-
No,
in-
it was
Well,
in OK State.
Yeah,
Oh, it was in OK State. Got it.
wow,
I would not have backed Oklahoma State on the road.
Let's keep going.
I will say the game underneath Gardner Webb. It's a good spot for them.
Okay.
Right here.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
A little too much steam, but it's a good spot for them.
Let's move that mouse.
I'm moving.
Davidson too. Whew.
Baylor, Iowa State.
Steph Curry -5.
Another team that's super fucking hard to fade. Iowa State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of gives me the same feelings of the last game we just talked about. To be honest with you, similar spread. I think people are more inclined to take Baylor if we had to choose between the two underdogs. But thoughts here?
I don't have
Yeah,
anything.
I'm
I don't even have a
never
lean,
picking
bro.
Iowa State, yeah.
I
That's just the team
because
I-
I think Baylor's like I think Baylor's kind of figuring it out. And if they're figuring it out, I'm not getting in the way because their ceiling is sky high. And they also don't turn the ball over. So if they can limit the turnovers, I mean, if you can hold on to the ball against Iowa State, it's a completely different game. So, but I don't know. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do that. I'm staying away from this game. I think it'll be a great game to watch, though. But I can't.
Wouldn't everyone and their mom be on this over? Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah,
I think
I
if
don't
they
know.
had to, yeah.
I feel like everyone would pick the over here.
Yes, I could get there
Yeah,
just because
Iowa
I feel like
State's
Baylor was in that spot with a somewhat of an obvious over. I would say obvious over versus Utah, who just absolutely likes to chuck, and Utah couldn't hit the side of a fucking brick wall. So it wasn't really Baylor's fault in terms of that game going under. I could get there, but I really have a tough time taking unders in the 150s stake. Just something that I like. Just never. I just haven't seen that much success with. I like taking the unders with the low lines and the overs with the high ones. And at 152, it feels like it's right. It makes sense to me. Doesn't seem too high, doesn't seem too low. But if I had to like gun to my head, I see where you're going with it for sure.
Yeah. And also Baylor looks comfortable to me too. It's weird. I guess I like a lot of the favorites today because I do lean Iowa State, Tennessee, and Houston, but Baylor looks comfortable as fuck to me too.
Yep. You could take Iowa State out of the equation, take Baylor team total under. That's not a bad spot, though, God. That's kind of the epitome of what we're all saying. So
Yeah.
kind of like
I
that.
agree.
It's ISU here. They defend the three well and have a great
Probably
transition
is.
defense.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think we're all just too scared to lay that number.
I think if this game goes
know I
over,
am.
it's because Iowa State fucks it at the end of the day. So, yeah, maybe taking them out of the equation if you want to take an under with Baylor's TT is the best way to go about it. But, all right, let's keep moving. Ooh, everybody's favorite team in Miami.
Dude, Virginia Tech's right there too.
Oh, everybody's favorite team.
Two
Yes.
dog fist teams right here.
dude,
Yeah, this is-
Miami's gonna win this game.
I'm
No one's
gonna-
gonna play it.
I'm gonna get a drink during this game because I want nothing to do with it.
Miami's gonna win this game, and no one's gonna be on it.
Yeah,
Absolutely correct.
I mean, last game
But I'm not
everybody
playing
jumped on
it, bro.
them because of the
I'm
fired
not
coach
backing it.
system. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm not playing it either, but it's Miami.
Agreed.
Yeah, I just
Don't
saw
think
them.
there's
I
much
just
more to
watched them
say.
blow a 19-point lead to Boston College. So I will not be playing that. Boston College is a joke, and they lost by 10. It's not even like they lost by 1. They went from up 19 to losing by 10. Just scroll.
I agree, dude. Such a sad team, man. It's so weird because that team was such an ATS wagon the last 2 seasons, and now they're the complete opposite.
They have so much talent on that roster. I don't understand how they're that bad.
Losing to Boston College.
I can't. You can't make it up. You really can't.
I don't hate them. I mean, they have talent. They just don't. I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously it's the coaching, but
I have a play in this game in South Carolina, Mississippi State. I'm fading my alma mater today, boys. Fading my alma mater, specifically on the team total. South Carolina's team total, I think, is sitting at 67, 66, maybe. I got to check, but the reason I'm on it, South Carolina, they're on a fat winning streak. They're off 7 straight wins, and this is the first road game since December 3rd. Not a team that really pushes transition. They're just a half-court offense, and their defense is, I would say, pretty good for the SEC comp. But the strength of schedule has been extremely light for South Carolina recently. The 302nd in adjusted opponent defensive efficiency, which basically means the defenses they've been playing have been horrible. The only other top 50 defense that they played, Mississippi State included, is Clemson, which was a rivalry game, which obviously South Carolina, Clemson, they got up for that game, and they scored 54 in the second half. So if that tells you anything about that game, went to OT, they were abysmal in the first half, and then absolutely turned it up, almost scoring 60 points in the second half versus fucking Clemson. So I think that game meant a little bit more to them, and all their production comes from this guy, Colin Murray Boyles. I'm sure you know who he is, Jeff. He's going to be an NBA guy. He's top in field goal percentage in the SEC. He gets all his points in the paint, and he's a great rebounder. Who, Colin Murray?
I wouldn't say
he's an
NBA.
player.
I wouldn't say NBA.
He's going to be a fringe NBA player for sure.
Oh,
He's on the draft boards. He's on the draft boards
Really?
as it stands. Yes.
I mean, yeah, he has I think he has the size and athleticism.
He's
but I don't
6'7"
know,
and he's 6'7" and can board and finish. He's going to be a solid 3. I think not a high lottery pick, but
yeah, that's fair.
Miss State ranks
Oh, by
top
the
10 in
way.
creating turnovers and steal percentage, and that's something South Carolina really struggles with. So I think their offense is going to be absolutely terrible. I mean, the bigs for Mississippi State are going to cause problems for Murray Boyles, and without him creating production, I think it's going to be a really bad day offensively for this team. So
no Seth Trimble, by the way, for UNC today. So
I took
something to
Josh
monitor.
Hubbard in this one. 16.5 points. I think Mississippi State, this is them all day. I've watched a few South Carolina games. I mean, we kind of said it last year. Like, nobody really believed in them despite their record. I think they're so much worse this year, and I think people are still kind of like grasping onto that when they bet on them. But I mean, I genuinely think they're terrible, like for a big school, in my opinion. So I took Hubbard. This dude's elite at home. I'm sure you guys all know him. He's their best player, high usage guy. I think he just puts on a clinic today at home. His stats are unreal at home.
Yep.
I know it's boring as shit when people get on here and pitch unders, but I do like the under in this game, so I was pretty excited about your pitch. I like Mississippi State and the under. I try to figure what I like more, and I don't think Mississippi State's going to have to go that crazy offensively to win this one, so I really do like the full game under in this one.
Love it. Love it. I might ladder South Carolina's points under, honestly. This feels like a game where they don't break 60 to me. It really does.
I agree fully.
But cool. Let's keep moving. All right. Great game here, UCLA, Nebraska. Gotten some steam here too, Jeffy, with Nebraska.
I know. I got CLV on every play today. I like Nebraska though. They're a wagon at home. Okay, hold on. I need to move rooms.
No, you're good. You're good.
Can you guys hear anything in the background or no?
Yes.
Not. Yeah.
Chatter.
Yeah.
I don't want to lie.
Stay close. Yes.
Sometimes you just got to be honest.
We'll wait for him real quick.
Caleb, there you go. That was one of the worst shots I've ever seen.
UCLA is on my list of teams I don't fade. I only look to back personally. They've been really good to me this year. in terms of games I've supported them and placed coin on. I'd be lying if I said it's not the spot for Nebraska, but I will not be jumping on that train personally. I'll let Jeff talk about it though. I'll let y'all talk it up.
Here we go.
Get
We
the
got
bathroom
the
really quick.
crutch report.
Ugh.
UCLA had a fly to Nebraska for today. Tuesday, they have to play
Am I
Michigan.
am I
back in
lagging still?
California.
I think I'm still lagging.
Friday,
can hear
they're
you.
at
We can hear you.
Maryland. Stay on the East Coast for the weekend. Play Rutgers Monday, then fly home. Brutal. Jesus.
I mean, I certainly think it's a spot for Nebraska, especially after what UCLA did last game. It absolutely feels like it. Did we lose?
Jeff is-
Am I lagging, or is that just Jeff?
It's Jeff. That's
Okay,
Jeff.
just wanna make sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I kind of avoided this game myself. I'm still on the fence about UCLA. I think they're obviously very good, but I think they got out to a really hot start and kind of hitting the rough schedule stretch, if you
Yeah.
will. Not sure how to describe that. So I kind of want to wait and see with them. I don't know, man. I just don't know what to ever think about Nebraska. Yeah, you're good now, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm fading UCLA. They're coming off that. I'm actually in Florida right now. Playing who's hot.
McKiffin, dude.
Yeah, I mean Nebraska's been an absolute wagon at home in conference play the past couple of years, and I want to fade UCLA off of that Gonzaga win. They looked great in that game. They've looked great all year, honestly. But I think one of the ways you beat Nebraska is having players that can score on their own. They really clog passing lanes, and they don't allow you to really move the ball a lot. And Bryce Williams is one of the best ISO scorers that no one talks about. He's disgusting, and I think he's going to have a good game. I think Nebraska, I mean, I'm playing two systems, dog to fave, unranked home fave, and a good spot to kind of sell high on UCLA off of beating Gonzaga. So that's where
You're
I'm at
such
with
a-
this game.
Dude,
I'm not
you're a
overthinking
fucking
it.
unranked home fave merchant, Jeff, dude. Just admit it.
Call me what you want, bro. I'm
I'm
playing
just-
it every single time, and I'll be up money on the system at the end of the year, bro. People can,
This
like,
is
hate
the
on me,
angle
but-
for sure. I really think Nebraska has to be the play here.
Yeah, I mean, you can like they go unranked home. I don't give a fuck, bro. Like,
I'm just
can take
pushing
it
your
too.
buttons.
take it every single time. You'll be up money on the end of the year. Like, it's not like that's how I play the system. I don't try and pick my spots with it. You just blindly take it. Also, dog to fave. Also, buying low, selling high. Not buying low, but I'm selling high on UCLA. So
Fair. Royal,
That's right.
thoughts here?
Is Michigan State ranked?
yeah,
Should be.
So
They
yeah, and like obviously I took Ohio State too. We all did, but like that one was obviously spookier because of the way fucking Ohio State played against Kentucky. But you got Nebraska playing UCLA, who's coming off that big win. I like Nebraska, dude. I have to press the button.
that's where I'm at. Also,
All right.
like yesterday, like the unranked home fave Ohio State, like that was way too obvious on such a short slate. So
Yeah.
I can get there. Fine.
Point.
Pull my arm. Twist it. Fine. Let's keep going. Duke, SMU. I can't lie. The first thing I wanted to take was SMU team total under. The thing is, I don't know if people are hip with SMU yet. I would assume they are. I think they're a great program, and honestly, getting them this amount of points at home, I know it's Duke, feels a little easy. I don't think SMU is going to be able to perform in terms of offensively. Duke's defense has been, I think one of the best in the country. Aside from these teams that are known for defense like Houston, even Iowa State, like Duke has been the team that's really impressed me on the defensive end. And I wanted to back them today. I don't know if I like the spread as much as I like SMU's TT under. I think this game is going to be really gross. I think it's going to be in the trenches because SMU does have the athletes to stay on the glass and be somewhat competitive with Duke. But, I think this spot screams the Blue Devils here.
yeah, I like my first glance, Jackson Robinson. Oh my god.
Rick,
Yeah, bro, he's bricking everything.
I
So
know.
my first thoughts were, what is that call? Oh, that's our ball. I bet. So my first thoughts were SMU is gonna be really sharp, and I want to take it. But it's like the more I think about it, like I don't think Duke is sleepwalking into this game. I was saying it before stream to like stake. I think if Duke's like gonna like perform bad on the road, it's going to be against a really shitty team that they're not getting up for. SMU's looked great this year. They're 11-2. And I mean, they haven't beat a top 50 team yet. So I'm not really like impressed, but at the same time, like, I'm so confused with this game, bro. Cause like, I can't tell if SMU's like elite or not. And I don't know. Like, it's a hard game.
That's my thing. I
So-
don't know if people are on the SMU wave or not. Like, basketball brain makes me want to back this team, but against Duke, against this defense, I can't really get there. It feels like somewhat of a wake-up call for this team personally. And maybe a spot where – no, go ahead.
I think if you know ball, that does look comfy, SMU plus 7.5. But I just think to your average bettor who just wants to press Duke minus 7.5, like Jeff said, he thought SMU was going to be sharp. I feel like betting against Duke is going to be sharp pretty much for the rest of the year. And I'm just not looking to get in front of them now that it feels like they got it clicking. I thought the time to try to fade them was early in the year. But like you said, I don't know that many people know that SMU is actually pretty fucking good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fair. Arizona, Cincy, this line seems very short, if you ask me.
You guys
I
are
just-
wondering. Told Chewy, fuck the fucking Bulls. That's what I told him. So
Well, that's fighting words for a guy like
They're
that.
nice. They're nice,
well,
bro.
they're playing the Knicks today. I can say it for today. I can say it for today.
The thinnest of ice. Cincinnati, I mean, I can't fade them off a loss. Can y'all?
No, I can't. But what is this line?
-3. It's moved a bit
Yeah.
too.
And I guess it's like Arizona's 17th
See-
in KenPom, believe it or not. But
I feel like this
Um,
is the sketchy one in my opinion. Like we all love Cincinnati. Obviously, it's a good spot at home after a loss, but like I don't know. I feel like everybody loves fading Arizona at this point.
they're 17th in KenPom. I'll just say that.
I'm not
Arizona's
so sure.
17th in KenPom.
I'm not so sure everybody's there with fading him yet.
Really?
Not really so sure. The fact that it's
I mean, obviously they took him versus UCLA. Like that was
Yeah.
just the spot.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I
man.
think a lot of people know Arizona is not the regular Arizona this year. They're 7-5.
It's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah. Oh, you
But-
think? Okay. Well, if this is the case, then I agree. But
I don't think so at all. I think Cincy would be really popular at home against
At
fraudulent
home off a
Arizona
loss
team.
against Arizona that nobody's really sold on, I think Cincinnati looks
that's
very
what I'm
enticing.
saying. I agree.
I think it like Arizona's so good when they don't shoot threes. But they just
You know,
they
it's-
continue to just chuck threes. So
You know what's interesting about this game? I kind of like the over in this spot. I think this total is kind of leaning towards Arizona. I mean, you look at Cincinnati this year. I mean,
Yeah,
they're not
defense is
seeing
elite.
totals this high. I mean, especially at home, they're not seeing totals this high. I mean, against Xavier, 146 going under, Dayton 137, Grambling 136, Kansas State 139 going. I mean, they've gone under 4 straight times. They're 2-10 on the year to the under, and we're seeing a 147 total. I mean, it makes me think there's going to be a shit ton of points in this game. We know Arizona likes to push tempo too.
One thing that scares me is Caleb Love is on fucking fire. I mean, 2 straight 20-point games, just dropped 30. I feel like he's kind of been inconsistent this year. So, I mean, I think mostly all depends
so
on him.
much though.
I know. That's
He
what I'm
shoots
saying.
so
like,
much.
Is
He
he, gonna
takes
do
like
that versus
30%
Cincy?
of their shots.
I feel like if he's not scoring versus Cincy, I mean, they're going to struggle big time. 'Cause I think Cincy's going to
Yeah,
score. I
Yeah,
don't want
they
to say
have-
with
they have
ease,
good
but
they have a
they'll
good
have
rim
open
defense.
looks. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
he
don't
is
know.
due for his 3-for-16 game.
That's what I'm saying. This is
Yeah.
a tough one to me. Like I like Nebraska
a
way
tough
more
game.
than this one in a similar spot.
Me too.
Me as well.
Cool.
Oh
gotta
yeah,
go
the,
soon.
the Bryce James effect. Shit, Arizona's a whale. Just got LeBron's son. That worked
Yeah.
out for USC.
Vibes are super high over there for that.
Everyone says they think he's way better than Bronny, so we'll see.
Well, ain't saying much.
Anything
Better than Bronny.
here?
He's way
Not
worse.
saying
Okay.
much. I got nothing here.
It's tough to really say
It's a
anything other
big
than
ass
Jack
spread.
Auburn.
I'd
Yeah.
fucking take Auburn, even with the big.
Auburn probably wins by 90.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
I
is-
wanted to touch on this one too. Do you think everyone's just gonna blindly fade K-State after that win?
I thought you were going to talk about the San Diego State Boise first, but we can
Oh,
talk
I
about
did,
Kansas
yeah.
State,
I
TCU.
don't know. I've been like looking at this game a lot because I just feel like everyone's gonna blindly fade K-State after that win.
I'll be on the under in this game, somewhat to that angle. I mean, you have TCU off back-to-back 80-plus games, something that they've only done 3 times this year, and then you
Dude,
have
Kentucky's cooked.
What's the score?
Well, all I know is I don't think
14-8.
Kentucky's rebounded the ball once. They're only down
Yeah,
6, but
we're getting
every
killed on the
possession
glass.
is a Florida State offensive rebound.
God damn it. God damn it.
Getting killed on the glass.
God, that was exactly what I said wasn't going to happen.
Jackson Robinson is throwing up air balls and bricks.
All right, he's
like,
missed
yeah.
2 shots.
He just missed his third, and it wasn't even close. Yeah.
That's good. W.
Game
Reed.
of runs,
Jeez.
boys. You know that.
Where's Kobe Brea? We need him shooting.
But I really like the under, dude. I really do. TCU's off that or Kansas State's off that legacy win versus Cincinnati too. I think a game they really got up for. See this total move down to tick too, I believe, down to 140.5 since we've been talking. Yep, down to 140 flat. I really like the under here. I mean, you get 2 teams that are coming off kind of get up games. And I think points are just going to be coming at a premium. TCU's offense is not good. They're not a team that scores 80 and consistently, and coming off 2 games, I really like for both sides.
I think you guys are both of what you said is incredibly spot on. Yes, I think people are going to try to fade after that huge win, and yes, I like the under. I mean, did it just move down a point in front of our eyes? Wasn't it just
Yep.
at 141?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. So if you like that, get that in now. But I actually really like the under.
Yep, agreed. Glad you like it. Anything?
I think I
Sandy?
might take K-State, honestly. Like, I might just get there.
Really?
What if, like, this is them hitting their stride, you know? Like, is TCU good?
I would
mean,
not
they're
do
their
that.
Best player, like, what?
I wouldn't do that, dude. I don't think you can back Kansas State off after beating Cincinnati. I don't think you can do that.
Everyone's going to say that, though. Like, dude, that's the thing with them. Like, they
No,
have
but
the
it's
talent.
TCU, dude. No, but like TCU is not a
Doesn't
team
matter.
people
They're
like
favored
backing.
at
They
home.
suck.
Dude, that line is pretty – people are going to bet that line.
Okay.
Not a single person believes in K-State. And to
I
me,
don't
they
think
have
people
the
believe
talent
in
to
either of
be-
these teams.
Yeah, exactly. But K-State's coming off a huge win. I don't know.
Right.
I think this is the spot where, again, it's a home favorite, fading a team off a big win. I mean, we have a couple of these today.
Are you saying you like TCU?
No.
You just said Kansas State's coming off the big win.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You think
Anyway.
people are going to try to fade them off the big
Yeah.
win?
Oh, okay.
Yes. With TCU laying almost 4 at home.
Kentucky's not dead, bro.
The chat's making me think Kentucky's down 40.
I-
They're about to be down.
just-
They're about to be down 9. They do look bad, but
It's
they're
just-
also their offense. They're just shooting threes. So
Yeah,
once
I mean,
that
Florida's
changes, they
just
should be better.
dominating. Like, and it just looks easy for Florida right now.
Kentucky's literally just shooting
up in
contested
major.
threes every possession. So
Mid-major
They
Bears
just
plus
need a
10 tomorrow
timeout.
or what?
I disagree though. Personally, I would lean TCU and I would lean the under.
Nice sample size,
personally.
7 minutes.
I think that's the common narrative today, which I kind of want to fade.
Okay.
All right, can we go to Bama really quick because I have to run.
Sure. Let me see. What time is it? 7?
6.
Let's see. Let me just control F.
They play
There we go.
There it is.
undefeated Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm on Bama. It's minus 12.5.
Holy shit.
I don't know if you guys remember Auburn
Oh,
minus 12.5 against South Carolina last year, who was 14-1, and Auburn won that game by 40. This is the same exact spot. So, yeah, I have to play it. Undefeated Oklahoma catching 13 points now. Yeah. I maxed Auburn last year. I only have 1 unit on Bama just because Bama is way more volatile. They shoot a lot of threes, but Oklahoma's due for a lot of regression. Michigan, the game they played against Michigan, I think they shot like 4 for 26 from 3, and they were wide open looks. They couldn't make one. Oklahoma's frauds. I think everyone knows they're frauds, but this is their wake up call. First true road game. Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, I
It's-
can't lie. That
it's
that
simple
line's
as that for
massive.
me. Bama, this is a game I have to play. I will not pass this up. So, yeah, Kentucky's figuring it out, by the way. So Mari Williams getting some dunks here.
Hey, it looks like Shaq. Oh my God. Jeff, close your eyes.
Oh, what do you get dunked on?
No.
Oh no, Walter Clayton.
Does my guy have a rebound yet?
He's
I don't
one,
think
believe.
so.
One.
One.
I
two.
think it's incredibly interesting how inflated these lines are on these favorites. Like, I thought the Houston line's fat, the Auburn line's fat, the Alabama line's fat. The Alabama line is insane, in my opinion. And it's starting to make me think it's favorite day, but I love Alabama. I think that's maybe the best of the favorites that I just named. These are crazy. I mean, they're just fucking begging you to bet the dogs, I feel like.
Yeah, it does seem like that. You're right. I mean, man, laying 13 against an undefeated team
is crazy. I know Bama's good, but that's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. I honestly didn't even peep this game when I was labbing. I didn't even realize how fat this line was for Oklahoma. It's absolutely absurd. I like it, Jeff.
Had to
All right,
play it.
Let's go back.
Really quick, you don't have to go to the game, but the other play I'm on is Belmont -6. They're off 3 straight losses. They're playing UIC, who is 3-0 straight up and ATS last 3 games as underdogs. And they just beat undefeated Drake at +6. So blindly taking Belmont to bounce back here at home and fade UIC off that. I mean, they've won the last 3 games outright as underdogs. So taking Belmont, who's lost 3 straight. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yep, it's the perfect eclipse.
Yeah.
You said it perfectly.
Yeah.
Don't want to harp on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it with you.
Yep. All right, boys. Good luck tonight.
Cool. All right,
Brother.
enjoy it.
Catch you up.
Enjoy Florida. Enjoy the sun.
See you, bro.
Leaving tonight. See you, boys.
All right, let's go back. What game were we just talking about before?
Bama?
No,
But we
the one-
moved down for it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, TCU, Kansas State.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, no,
Okay.
not Cincy. Yeah, K-State.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think he would be if they weren't. I mean, I don't know if you guys are watching, but they're like hedging and doubling him on every ball screen. That's kind of why I like the perimeter guys, but looks like I picked the wrong one. Kobe Brays.
Bama, -13.
Yep. Daddy loves me 911. Wow, that's one of the craziest Twitch names I've ever seen.
I almost said it when I answered the question. I'm like, nah, I'll pass on that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Someone's going to clip that shit.
Anything with San Diego State and Boise. I kind of wanted to back Boise. This team's been a wagon for me all year. Getting 4 points. I feel like it's a team, or laying 4 points. I don't think it's a team people really talk about. And San Diego State has had some pretty big wins on the year. Don't have anything punched in yet, but I can't lie. I think Boise State is a decent look today. I want to hear what you guys think.
I think
I
San
was
Diego
still-
State was a little easy. That's all I say.
Yeah, I always feel like they've been trendy pretty much ever since they made the championship run.
Yeah.
And I don't know that anyone's hit, like you said, to the fact that Boise State's pretty solid. I also don't buy those splits for a second. Like, I'm cool. I don't really even look at splits anymore. But as we've gone through this today, like, I'm a little surprised to see 70% on TCU. It'd be very surprised if the real splits were 60% on Boise.
I agree. I mean, it's kind of tough to fade SDSU off a loss to Utah State, but that game was super competitive. And Utah State, I think, is just a real deal team that people were sleeping on previous to that game. So I like the spot. Somewhat of an obvious bounce back spot for SDSU. Fade that, laying the points with Boise, team that I don't think people are really on their radar yet. They're extremely athletic. They can crash boards, and they play somewhat of a transition offense where I think they can match up pretty well against SDSU, who likes to slow things down. So we'll see what happens in that game. Maybe I'll get to the counter with it, but I like Boise for sure as a lean. All right, let's keep going here. Louisville, Virginia, anything here?
I just think they're misleading, Juicy. I think they're very, very misleading. And you could go to different sites and get completely different split numbers. And honestly, they could talk you off a good play and they could talk you into a bad play. And honestly, I think it's better when you just trust your reads.
Yeah. It's also, too, it's like, it's not going to hit every single time, you know, if the splits are the way you want it, if that makes sense. Like,
no, we'd all be rich. We'd all
exactly.
be screaming for mansions.
Yeah. I feel like 2 years ago in the NFL, yeah, you would be up you'd be betting 60%. I mean, everyone did for a while, and I think that's why a lot of people kind of get burned today. I mean, I used to do it. Like, I'll hand up. I used to take a weird +3 line on a shit team that had 0 handle on it.
Oh yeah, we all did, of course.
Yeah, and now they lose by 40. So
Yeah, exactly.
you gotta adjust.
Adapt and conquer, as we'd say. All right.
This line move wasn't Virginia like +3 or something?
I was gonna say, I know it's Louisville, but anytime I see such a low total and Virginia at home getting this amount of points, it makes me lean the other side. But Virginia games have been nearly impossible to read this year, at least for me. So I'm happy to move on, to be honest.
I'm happy to move on too.
Oh my god.
I think we're going through kind of a weird stretch of games till we get another good one. Vandy, LSU. This is actually a really good game. Kind of underrated. Bring it up here. I mean, Vandy has been one of the sleepiest teams in terms of I feel like just nobody has been talking about. They've been ATS wagons this year. 12-1 on the year and 10-3 ATS. They have covered since November. They've covered. Haven't had an ATS loss since November 20th. And then you get LSU. I mean, catching points at home. I don't really know what to think of this spread. I think it makes sense. I mean, I think LSU is definitely the sexier, trendier team if we had to compare the two. But the total seems a bit high too. I think it's going to be a really good game. It's moved up 2 points since we started talking about it, or moved down, I should say. Let me just do a little refresh here.
Isn't that total higher than Alabama, Oklahoma?
That's what I'm saying. It's extremely high. It's moved down 2 points, but I would have to assume that's just because it's getting some tickets on the under, right? I mean, who's running to the counter to back Vanderbilt LSU over?
To score 80 at least?
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
yeah, money. 9.5.
Crazy high. Crazy high.
I think it's crazy high. I didn't even think about it till you said it. That's crazy high.
I mean, it's the highest LSU total that they've seen all year. And if you're comparing to Vandy, I mean, they saw a 160 total versus New Orleans, who they just played, and they put up 100, but that game went under too. They held New Orleans to under 60 points. They've actually held their last 3 opponents, talking about Vandy here, to sub 60. So
Crutch just said he liked the under.
Really?
Hate that. Damn. I was ready to fucking punch this bitch in.
I think I might still have to get to the over, to be honest. I mean, I just have no understanding of why LSU's highest total is against Vanderbilt, whose defense has been standing on its head recently. Just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, but look who they've played.
That's kind of my point, though. Like, yes, they've been putting up these numbers, but like,
who have they played would be my question there. Like, who have they done that against?
Horrible teams. New Orleans, Austin Peay, Citadel.
Then I'm not putting a lot of weight in that.
Right. LSU,
I was
same
talking
kind
about
of thing.
like Vandy's defense. Yeah, I get what you're saying, right? I mean, 3 straight games, teams have scored 55 points essentially. It's like
LSU just held the same thing with LSU. Like, yes, they're scoring a shit ton of points, but their defense has been standing on its head too. And like, this is the first real comp these teams are playing against each other, and seeing this total makes no sense. It should be around 150, in my opinion. Seeing at 157 is 159 this morning. I know it's gotten steamed to the under, but Jesus Christ, I don't think anybody wants to take the over here. They're going to play real defenses for this first time.
Spooking me off. Crutch spooking me off.
Okay.
No, I can't get over.
I think Crutch's view is you look at, say, Vanderbilt, 100 points last game versus nobody, 85, 105, 83. I think he's saying both teams are going to kind of run into a brick wall. Not that these teams are like great defensively, but they've just been playing like nobodies and just kind of waxing them, running through them.
Okay. I understand the point for sure. I see that angle to it, I guess.
I see what you guys are saying. It's high. So.
All right. We can move on. All right. Did want to talk about Oregon State real quick. This is kind of a square angle that I kind of liked. Not saying anyone's going to be back in San Diego, but I mean, Oregon State off a loss to LMU, and LMU was in an extremely sharp spot there. 4 ATS losses in a row, laying a fat number at home. I think this is a no-brainer, Oregon State. I didn't get there personally to the counter, but they're one of those teams that I feel like just are flying under the radar, and I think they're actually extremely competitive. Possibly a team that we'll see in March, depending on how their conference play goes. But I think they're pretty underrated as it stands right now. They got some big bodies. They have some athletes, and I mean, San Diego's horrible, but yeah, and San Diego is off almost beating Santa Clara, exactly. So I'm actually, the more I talk about it and seeing D-Bop like it, I know he said some sharp stuff in here too. I think I'm going to get there with the Beavs tonight. But
Just spread or team total or what?
I think spread. I think San Diego's going to struggle to score. I mean, they really got up in that last game. So I agree, McKiffin. I like Oregon State's team as a whole too, and just seems like a team nobody really talks about, and laying a big number in 15.5. This is, to me, 20 to 30 point win for this squad. So just looked up, and UK's up 5. That's basketball, man. It's a game of runs. It's a game of runs.
Crazy. Probably just dropped my prop, to be honest. Damn.
You wanted to take Oregon State money? Do it with me, brother. Do it with me.
That would be my MJ tail of the day.
Let's go.
Hilarious.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going here. No, nothing there. Ooh, Steak. I'm not going to say anything in this Colorado-Arizona State game. Just want to hear your thoughts. Royal, you too, obviously.
My initial thoughts are is that total's a little low.
I was looking more so at the spread, but I agree for sure.
Spread's a little high.
I think it's Arizona State. Another team, I mean, laying 6. Colorado, I mean, sneakily has had some pretty good comp and stayed pretty competitive with a lot of teams. I just did not expect Arizona to lay the 6 number, and this kind of brings back to a point that we talked about a little earlier. I mean, the splits say everyone's hammering Arizona State. I just can't really believe that, to be honest with you. It's a weird situation with Colorado coming off their second game against Iowa State. They've already played them twice this year and lost and haven't covered both times. But to me, I think Colorado is just a bad team in terms of underdogs, right? They beat up on some of the bad comp they play this year, the San Diego States, the Colorado States, like some of the bad mid-majors or, middle of the pack teams. But from what I can tell, whenever they play a team that's actually competent, that I think Arizona State is, they get horsed. Iowa State, an example. Michigan State, an example. That UConn game was a little weird, I think. It was on a neutral, and they
were struggling. UConn was struggling during that stretch.
Right. I think it was more so UConn struggling than it was Colorado playing up the comp. So seeing 6, I really wanted to take Arizona State. And it's like I have so many favorites that it's like I don't want to be favorite heavy, but I'm with you, Steak. It's most of my plays are, Dayton, Belmont, Arizona State here, Oregon State. A lot of favorites, but can't help but like them.
It does feel like favorite day, man. It does feel like favorite day. Either it's the favorites or we're getting cooked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But anything else on this game before we move on?
Nah, I'm pretty torn on as well.
Okay.
It does seem a little big for Arizona State, though.
I think your read's correct.
Okay, cool. All right, let's keep going. Syracuse, Florida State. I did kind of want to take this over. I just wanted to mention it quickly. Both these teams struggle to defend the rim, and Syracuse, as we know, can't hit a 3-ball to save their lives. All their production comes from the paint, and Florida State's pretty much the same way. So it's kind of weird seeing the total so high, and I think it just lines up with the defense being bad in the interior for both these teams, because Florida State is a decent shooting team, but another team that thrives with transition buckets and attacking the rim. So I think this over could be a sneaky look for sure. Nothing that's too strong, but did want to mention it.
I can't imagine anyone who's fucking dying to bet Syracuse and Florida State over 156.5.
No, I don't think so either. You look at Florida or you look at Syracuse. They've had some high totals this year, but it's right around like 150-ish is where they're sitting. So this would be considered a high one in terms of what they've seen this year. It's like 144 is kind of the bottom of what they've seen And then 165 is towards the higher side of what Syracuse Syracuse.
And both teams trend towards the unders. So it's like, I think once again, that's so high. That's so high.
Yep. It's one of those sneaky ones a game that I don't think a lot of people are going to have eyes on as well. So I'm liking that.
Move down. Check the line for Kentucky. I just want to see what it's at.
Total. Let's see.
Kentucky minus 2.5, over under 173.5.
Yep. Over's looking really good so far. Obviously, we talked about Oklahoma, Alabama already. Stanford, Pittsburgh. This is interesting. Steg, I think you're going to really like Stanford. They just burned a lot of people in a super sharp spot at a similar number against Clemson, where they're getting 10.5. They were, I think they're winning at halftime potentially. No, they were down by 2. I'm sorry. Extremely competitive in the first half. Then they kind of blew it towards the end. Off 3 straight ATS losses, Stanford here, getting a similar number versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, as we know, lives and dies by the 3 and their shooters. Could be a good spot to back Stanford, who's actually pretty great in the rebounding category. That's why they were able to stay competitive with Clemson. Could be a good spot to back Stanford after a lot of people got burned on them in a sharp spot. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh just came through on somewhat of a similar spread, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering correctly.
Dying for an underdog, dude. We need an underdog badly.
Yeah, I think Stanford is a good option. Pittsburgh actually didn't cover that last game versus Cal. They won by 12, and the spread was 13. But, yeah, they've had some steam as well. Sports guy Evan mentioned it. It's open at 11.
This might be one of the dogs.
I'm down to do it. I mean, they burned me last time, so it's only right I go back, right? They're a decent team. And like I said, playing competitive with Clemson on the road, I mean, that's pretty impressive in my eyes. So I think this is like a get-back game and possibly an outright win for Stanford, to be honest. Yes.
Like that too.
All right, we'll keep going here.
Nebraska for me, Sonny.
Texas Tech, Utah. They've been my boys this year. I really like watching this team play. They play team-oriented basketball. That's why they're in the top 5 in terms of assists per game. I think they're actually number 1 as it stands right now. But Utah, for me, I have kind of a cheeky angle coming off a neutral site loss to Iowa and a road loss to Baylor. But specifically looking at that Baylor team, I mean, this is a Utah team that's awesome offensively, extremely efficient. They share the rock. They scored 17 points in the first half versus Baylor in that last game. Season low. And this is a team that's top 30 in first half points per game on the year. Not to mention you get Texas Tech, I think, in somewhat of a bounce back spot. I mean, both these teams are off losses, right? And if you're going to look between these two teams, I think people are more inclined to back Texas Tech. Another high octane offense that their defense has been pretty good as well, but both these teams hanging their hats on offense. Utah is a top 20 offense behind the arc, and they actually have 2 brothers. They're the Madsen brothers. Shot absolutely horrible. 25% combined in that Baylor game. To me, this is both those guys. They're 2 top offensive producers coming back to what their usual standards are, which is close to 20 points a game for Gabe Madsen. And I just absolutely love it. I mean, you get Texas Tech. They've played home games since December 8th, and you're getting them off a loss, an embarrassing loss at that. And they can't defend the 3 to save their lives. They're bottom 100 in the country in terms of 3-point defense, and that's something Utah loves to do is chuck. So I'm taking Utah first half, team total over 35.5, buying low after scoring 17 versus Baylor. And a good matchup.
That's crazy. My initial lean goes against yours, and now I'm second guessing because I definitely thought this was one of the totals that seemed like people would load up on the over here with these 2 teams, and I sort of like the under full game, but I don't know. I don't know if I can get there either, and I have a lot of unders. I actually promised I wouldn't pitch another under, and now here I am. But this does feel a little bit like an under game to me between these 2 teams, but I don't think I'm going to get anywhere. I don't hate your look.
Yeah, no, I do understand that because the total we did see move from 154 down to 151. A lot of steam towards the under. So I agree with you. It's just tough seeing Texas Tech. I mean, they're a high octane offense too, and you're getting them off a pretty bad performance, and you're getting Utah off one of their worst offensive games of the year. So I don't understand the line movement. 3 points to the total makes me kind of hesitant to take any kind of over. I'm with you, but I got to back Utah in a good basketball matchup off their season low in the first half. That's kind of my thing. So hopefully the full game goes over and Utah's first half TT goes over. We both go.
Yeah. I'm not betting it, so don't worry.
Okay.
I'm not taking it.
Royal, do you like it?
I like it. I just have a hard time fading Texas Tech in any way. That was the team that I pointed out before the season. I like them in all aspects: defense, size, offense, everything. But I do like your reading the spot, so I do agree.
Okay.
But it's just hard to press that button for me.
Okay, that's fair.
Also,
all right,
drowning piss. So
it's all good, dude. Let's see here.
Someone give me an Amari Williams rebound update.
I gotcha.
He had 2 last time. Nice. On pace, right? Yeah, somewhat. All right, let's keep going.
Thank you.
Michigan, USC. Anything here? I know. I think
teams I can just never read.
I mean, USC seems to be sharp more often than not, especially in big matchups. But am I wrong to say people are somewhat off the Michigan train?
A little bit, yeah.
Feels like people were a lot
To a certain
higher than
extent.
earlier in the year than they are now.
Yeah. I think people still believe in them and think they're good, but there was some crazy talk in the season.
I mean, Michigan's a team that all of their losses have been by 1 possession. So whenever they lose, they're scratching and fucking fighting to the very end. I mean, you see losses against Oklahoma by 1 point, Arkansas by 2, and Wake by 2. I mean, they're real deal, man. Michigan's real deal. And it just feels like people are kind of off that wave, or at least the wave that was in the beginning of the year when people were thinking they were potentially a top 10, top 15 team. I don't know if people are quite there yet anymore with some of the close losses that they've had against good comp, but to me, they're right there. And to me, I think laying 5.5 against this, I don't know how USC scores today. I really don't.
I don't know how they stop Michigan either.
My lean would have to be Michigan. Nothing I'm getting to the counter with, but basketball brain tells me it's Michigan.
I think 5.5 on the road for Michigan is really, really respectful. That was my initial lean, and I like Michigan. I won't lie. It's crazy how many favorites I like. It's honestly scaring the fuck out of me, but God, this is a respectful line. And honestly, I'm one of those guys. I think I buy Michigan. I think they could make a run, not fucking win the championship or anything, but I think they could make a tourney run. I think they're decent. And I do like them here.
Yeah.
So am I reading this correctly? A couple services, is in a couple dub club cappers. Is that what I'm reading here?
Couple
I've never heard that term.
Like VIP service, no? Am I?
Yeah, that makes sense. I just never heard of it.
Wake up if Freddie Mills play his dropped.
Oh God, I hope they're not at noon.
It's so funny.
Oh, he's back to private.
Oh.
I think he was always private. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
he came off for a while.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know because
to start the season. Yeah, he came off. Oh,
he doesn't like being chirped.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody does except for Beef.
Yeah, Beef fucking feeds off that shit.
He loves it.
Nebraska. Ooh, George Mason. Maybe Jeff was right.
This is Freddie, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Nebraska. George
Kinda
Mason.
Steelers,
George
too.
Mason? Money line?
That was fading URI, dog to fade.
Oh, my bad. I'm an idiot. I was thinking of George Washington.
No, you're good.
You know Freddie ain't taking an outright 7-point dog.
I was like, what?
Somebody had
Steelers, dude. Steelers is my best bet. I like
Yeah, I
that.
lean them
You
too.
got Bama. I'm pretty happy with that card right there.
Yeah, I like that too. In this game,
They
Texas,
look so bad, brother. I mean, come on. You think they're not getting up for this game?
Pittsburgh. Yeah. In this game, I like Texas TT under.
Wait,
Texas.
Not Freddie.
I was like, that's a lot of plays for Freddie. He usually posts 1 play on a Saturday. It's funny.
Damn.
Yeah, I think.
Wait,
That's Bet Sharper's
Jack,
card.
who's Bet Sharpers?
Ooh.
Who's posting that in here?
Oh, here we
Ooh.
go. I trust Scrutch.
This looks more Freddie.
This is
I don't
projections.
think
Yeah.
B-Bird was saying that was Freddie.
There
I
you
think
go.
I just
Kennesaw,
interpreted
Jackson
that.
State, Indiana. Yeah, that's more his speed.
I like Indiana State. I'll tail that one.
Alabama money line paired with Indiana.
Is Ole Miss at noon?
I think it said.
so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to
think
punch
we
that
have
in.
to- yeah, we have to tap that, dude.
I'm playing Ole Miss. Bro, they are scoring in the fucking Kentucky game.
So what does Jackson Robinson do for Kentucky? That's
Hold
my
on.
$1 million question.
I just got to get some plays. I haven't even posted my card. Jesus.
Yeah, that's the thing about the noon starts, dude. They creep up on you. Ole Miss is at noon. I gotta play it,
2, I'm tapping it.
and then I like too many favorites. Holy shit!
It's disgusting because I like Texas A&M in this spot too. So fucked. I mean, Texas has been a pretty solid team. They're over the number that they're set at today. I think it's 67.5, over in 4 straight. But Texas actually played the lightest schedule in all of college basketball, or at least one of bottom 10 in strength of schedule this year. So in terms of a high octane program like Texas, like, okay, George Washington has a shitty strength of schedule, right? But we're talking about Texas. They haven't played anybody. The last 4 opponents: Northwestern State, New Orleans, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and New Mexico State. Texas, funny enough, ranks number 1 in field goal percentage. That shit is not happening today versus Texas A&M, team that feeds on the glass, does not let teams have second chance opportunities. We're getting a team total under 70 for a team that's number 1 in field goal percentage in Texas. I mean, give me a break, dude. The numbers are skewed due to their lack of competition. And to me, Texas A&M has been a wagon in terms of fading their opponents' team totals, and I'll be doing it today. So I like Texas TT under 67.5. I think that line is extremely telling to me. So I'll be on that.
It's terrifying how many favorites we
Yeah.
like. I'm very curious to see how today goes. That
Yeah.
shit is scary because I agree with you, man. I can't even give you a counter argument. Like, I want to give a counter argument to one of these underdogs, but it's absolutely not here.
Stanford is calling our name, Stick.
That's the only one I've liked, and that's crazy.
It's disgusting too. I mean, Stanford
The
probably
last
loses
game
next
they
one.
played Oregon because they got
Who,
fucking
Stanford?
waxed. Yeah.
No, they played
I didn't look at that game.
Oh, Clemson,
Clemson.
right?
Clemson, yes.
Oregon beat the fucking brakes off them.
There's really no reason Stanford should be gaining any steam.
I need to post my card really quick. Yeah, there's an absolute.
I was looking at La Tech, brother. I like the spot.
Bro, the lines are just inflated. Like, I understand Clemson's good, but God damn,
Finally.
14
Holy
and a
shit.
half.
Finally, man. Sorry.
What would you like with this? This is
Robinson
your
hit, no, Robinson hit a fucking 3.
Oh, nice.
All right. Oh, I
Was that
got
not a three?
Oregon State. Oregon State, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna post my card too.
I gotta
Yeah.
post it real quick. Should we just?
Fucking
I need like 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. I'll do the same.
Let me
Steak,
play
what do
some
you
music
think
real
of Cleveland, Baltimore?
God, dude, it's
Yeah.
Bailey Zappi, right?
I think so, yeah.
I
Yeah, I
saw
think
that
that's
thing
stay away.
DGen posted about how Baltimore D has a better odds to score than anyone on the Browns. I don't know if that's accurate.
Sorry, but the back row's calling
I
me
seen
out.
that. That's crazy.
Your dog's fucking crazy. It's kind of really accurate, though. I can't lie. Dude, Kentucky is
Damn.
on fire right now. Did you peep NBA at all?
Fuck no.
Not yet,
Fuck
no.
you, little
I
bro.
honestly, man, I've done a pretty good job at waiting till like 4 or 5 p.m. because it's like that is really the best time to cap NBA. There's so many question marks about who's playing, but I started just fucking capping the NBA at 4 or 5. Like, I like when you guys do the night streams because that's like the best time to talk about NBA.
Agreed.
I just don't know if my Knicks bias is getting in the way today. But I mean,
No. Fat Girl said Zach Levine masterclass, so I'll obviously tail that.
Man, that guy has cost me so much coin this year.
it's so
All
like,
the
that's
Bulls
what I'm saying,
players.
It's so hard again because the Knicks defense on paper, right? Anunoby, Bridges. I mean, they have these great wing defenders, but these guards torch them every game. So it's like it's so hard.
You want to hear a funny Zach LaVine story?
Yeah.
One time, me and DJ went to the game, and it was the season after Zach LaVine beat Aaron Gordon in that dunk contest. I don't know if you remember that. No one would care unless you're a Magic fan.
No,
And
it's awesome to watch.
the very beginning of the game, DJ immediately starts chirping. He's like, "Aaron Gordon won the dunk contest," and Zach LaVine literally stands up. He turns around and looks at DJ and he goes, "Yo, don't even start that shit." And they sat back.
No way, dude.
That was so funny, dude.
Okay,
Bro,
Danon, this take
that's
is
absurd.
so fucking crazy. I'm not gonna go on a huge tangent, but like he didn't regress. You add in Towns, who is playing unbelievable basketball. Bridges is averaging 20. Anunoby's offensive bag stepped up. He doesn't have to do as much, and he's still one of the best point guards in the league right now.
He's actually been distributing a lot better this year, so I got to give him that.
Yeah, Cat is just not. It's that simple. Cat's playing like near an MVP level. Not
Brunson's-
in this conversation, but he's averaging 25 and like what 16? I don't even like the guy's unreal right now.
Yeah, bro. The Thunder. Am I crazy or the Thunder are winning the ship, right?
They're gonna be in the semis at least. Yeah,
SGA is
that team's
unconscious,
fucking
dude.
incredible,
Dude,
man.
he's fucking crazy.
Dude, it's not even like their defense is fucking insane.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
you talk. I mean,
Dude,
you
they're
can
doing
talk
this
about the
without
offensive
fucking
production. but-
Holmgren.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah, I did. I mean, dude, SGA is a better scorer than Brunson. There's no fucking doubt. I mean, nobody. If anybody thinks that, I mean, come on. I'm the biggest Brunson fan out there, but SGA is a different type of bag, man. I mean, that dude is fucking incredible. That dude is absolutely unreal, in my opinion.
I have so many plays today. It's disgusting. All favorites, man, on the spreads. Oh God.
Yeah,
Dude, it's just like OKC. It's like the thing with SGA too is he's an amazing defender that nobody talks about because of his offensive game. And then you get Caruso, elite. Cason Wallace is elite defender. I mean, Dort, J-Dub, all these guys are just fucking insane. I'm literally gonna start taking like I was gonna take Brunson under yesterday, but I just couldn't do it. Just take the opposite high usage ball handler under versus Thunder. It's almost free every game. James Harden
Yep.
got ruled out. Norman Powell had his worst game of the season. He was like 0 for 12 at one point or some shit. Like
They make-
this team is fucking insane.
Yeah, they make life hell.
It's insane. And now you have Hartenstein, so you can't even like target the bigs anymore like the past 3 years. I mean, that team is. I don't know who's beating them besides the Celtics.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That feels like that's got to be the finals.
Especially with the Timberwolves regression. I mean, I still like the Mavs. I think they're going to be deadly come playoff time when they're fully healthy. But other than that, I mean, Denver's defense is terrible. Suns are terrible. Lakers, I mean, I don't know what that is. Like the West isn't as good as it has been the past few years.
No, definitely not. It's definitely.
I think Memphis is a little bit of a. I don't think they're playoff like chip bound, but I think they can make some noise.
Yeah, I think they'll make someone's life miserable. Maybe it's the Thunder in a playoff series, but they ain't winning. They'll be like the Pacers were to LeBron, take them to 6 or 7, but never finish the deal, or the Raptors, something like that.
Yeah, but dude, if you look at like Brunson's stats and like advanced stats, like they're almost better than last year. Like he's playing very well. He's just not doing he's not dropping 40 and shit every night. He doesn't need to.
I don't know, Danny.
And
I don't
also
know if you
teams know
agree.
how to guard him more now. Yeah, I do agree with the Cavs. I mean, we always said it past 2 years. Like they just choke in the playoffs.
They're getting no respect on championship odds either. It's insane. Like,
Well, the one thing that scares me is I don't think their
dropping the
bench
card, don't
is
worry.
that legit, and I don't know. I don't think their depth is. I think they need to make a move.
I'll just
I
say
don't-
I don't respect the Cavs. I think this regular season is a Mickey Mouse run, and I think they're going to do nothing in the playoffs. That's what I
really?
think. I don't
Wow.
think the Cavs got anybody I trust to fucking get to the NBA Finals. Not at all, dude. Jared Allen will choke like he does in the NBA playoffs. He's a
Thomas
fucking
played?
meme. I mean, obviously, I'm not a Donovan Mitchell hater, but I don't trust any of those other guys at all.
The guy I do trust is fucking Mobley. I think that dude's fucking insane.
I'm kind of a hater of D Mitch. I can't lie. He gets up for the big games and sucks in the games that don't really matter. I hate players like
I wouldn't
that.
say we're idiots, but I do agree with Steg. I think the Cavs are overperforming. I do agree with that. I think they're good. Don't get me wrong, but East is
Yeah.
so top heavy, man.
I just think betting them to win the NBA Finals is a fucking donation.
This is the one team I was gonna say, or the one thing I was gonna say is dude, last year they were frauds in the playoffs because Bickerstaff, I think that was his name. He's so defensively focused. Like when you have Garland, Mitchell, like all these guys that can score, like you got to run the tempo, in my opinion. That's what they're doing now. I think that's why you're seeing such a big improvement with Atkinson. So I do like that. And then, yeah, it sucks the Magic are so injured because I mean, they would.
Nah, but they're saying last year Magic were up like
Oh, I
20
know,
in
I
that game 7, and you shouldn't, if you're the Cavs with as much experience as you have going against the Magic in their first playoff series together, you shouldn't have been taking to 7 games in that series. Obviously, I love the Magic, but the Cavs should have rolled in that series, and they won the first 2 games at home. They should have rolled in that series.
That's a good point, DC. I forgot to bring it up. Knicks starters played all 40-plus minutes last game.
Don't they always kind of?
They got us. Well,
Yeah,
but now they're on a
Tibbs likes to run.
back-to-back. It's just, dude, it's so annoying. Like, I'm not even saying this because I'm a fan, but like, whenever Tyler Kolik's in the game, like he looks like he belongs. Like he should be getting
More
7,
minutes,
8.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
no, not even more. Like minutes. He's not getting any minutes unless it's a blowout. Like
Just minutes.
just minutes. Like same thing with honestly, like the 18-year-old French dude we got. Like he looks like he belongs when he's in there. Like why not just let these guys play a few minutes? It just doesn't make sense. That's literally why we lost last year. OG out, Randall out.
Polik's gonna be good, bro. You can tell.
Dude,
Brunson's
that's what I'm
putting him
saying,
under his
like-
wing too.
Yeah.
Kolik,
Thank you,
like,
Brownlee.
Seems like he can ball, man. And then I like Campaign. Like he's been in playoff games. He's been on good teams. Like why not just let him run, dude?
I think I'm a believer that the Knicks could potentially make a run. I don't see anyone beating Boston as square as that is, but I could see that.
I still think they're gonna make. Yeah, I know Faded Grape. I really wanted to take it last night. I got caught up in DeJounte's bullshit, but Mobley has been a fucking wagon. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I do think the Knicks are gonna make a move at the deadline. I think they're gonna do something similar where they got Bogdanovich, Burks, guys like that, just cheap veteran scorers.
10 play card today
But that's what I'm
Jesus.
saying, Dan. And like,
for the week.
why not just let them run? You know, like you're driving these guys in the fucking ground. And I don't know if you guys saw, like Anunoby took a huge fall last night. Shit hurts.
Shit hurts. Well, we are good to wrap up whenever. Steak, you don't have to
Gonna say this real
feel
quick.
like we're kidnapping you.
Oh, no, sounds good. It's a perfect time for me to go. I appreciate you guys having me, per usual. Love Ramble.
Dude, I was talking to DGen. Are you going to go to the Big East tournament this year?
Oh, yeah, I would love to.
Please do.
Yeah.
We're doing like somewhat of a meetup. Like all the Ramble boys did it, but I think like Crutch and some of like the other guys that are part of the community, like even like a Fat Girls and Money, like they're gonna come to the Big East too. So want you there
Love
if you can make it.
For sure. Count me in. And C-Pup Steelers. But I'm a mid-ass NFL better, so don't go crazy. Hey, boys.
Good luck,
See
dude.
you, brother.
Later. Much
Last
love,
thing
bro.
I'll say is, Fat Girls, one, I think they're gonna make a move, like veteran scorers off the bench, and two, their bench doesn't play. Like their starters are all playing. I don't like the bench guys that come in for the Cavs. At this point, at least, that's why.
Yeah, I'm spraying the fuck out of this board. Good lord. Boys, chat, how many plays does everyone have locked in at the moment?
I have 7 props in CVB, which I've never done before.
7?
So, dude, I'm genuinely just fed up. I'm just spraying. Like I said, I didn't play Mobley last night.
fucking
Dude,
love
I'm
that.
fucking berserk. It's so
I fucking
annoying,
love
man.
that. You want some
Jonte.
21 Savage? I
Fucking
think I have some
benched.
21 in here, dude. Let me see.
I
Yeah, if
haven't
you guys-
peeked the NBA board yet, to be honest, Juicy. I just knew the Knicks were playing the Bulls.
I'm just down to stay live a little bit and chill. I got nothing to do today. Low key, my ACL, my knee, it's kind of giving me problems, bro.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Spurs beat them. Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to lean that side. It's hard not to lean that side. I don't want to lay the Spurs again, but I will say, though, Miami -9 with all this Butler shit could be cheeky.
What is it?
Have you seen the Jimmy Butler stuff?
Oh yeah.
Did you see him last game, bro? He was
I
taking
see the
like
goat.
one footing, like he took threes off 1 foot. Like that dude was fucking around out there. Like I'm not even kidding, bro. He was
He was
shooting
ju-
off 1 foot, like walking around.
He was Jeff
And then he-
Rosa at the pickup court.
Like this is, dude. We've been saying it all off season. Like this, to me, it's Tyler Hero's team. The Jimmy Butler
here.
shit's over. Like he had the playoff run, but like that team is like he's just whether it's he's not happy or maybe that shit was just fluky, but they gotta let Tyler Hero carry this team in my opinion. Him and Bam run that
Dude, if
two-way
any-
game.
If any of y'all want to meet up and grab a beer and say what's up to me, DGen, all the boys, Beef, we're all going to be at Big East. So you get tickets, we will be there. I'll probably end up buying the tickets pretty soon and posting our seats so people can buy seats close by. But yeah, dude, if you want to, Rosa will be. Yep. Me, Rosa, Beef, Royal. Who else joined? Rolo.
DC.
DC, DGen, Steak, obviously. Money is going to be there. Yeah, a bunch of us. Pretty much the whole fucking Ramble squad. We do it every year.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. Dig that. I might be on Norman Powell though at that discounted line after that
T-Rain.
brutal game versus the Thunder.
Yes, Crutch. Dude, T-Rain, you can make the flight, bro. Take the week off. Games start, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday that week. And MSG, games fucking all day, all week. It's fucking awesome, man. 10 plays today. Let's see how that works out. Dude, a 10-play card sweep would be beautiful. Do you remember that 9-play card I had, bro, last year, first Saturday at CBB? Yep. Me and you labbed 9-play sweep. That was the craziest thing I think I've ever posted. That was the best card. I think I can still find it, actually. Indiana State was on there. Hold on, let me find it.
Oh shit, it's in Newark. Oh, isn't it always in Newark? Or always around there?
Oh, it was 8. It was 8. Y'all remember this card from last year?
Indiana
fucking
State
awesome.
minus 11.5. We might never see that again.
Dude, they were wagons, dude. That was before they were kind of on the radar. That was awesome. Show
Dude,
love
I'm
to the
so
card,
like.
boys.
Just got a text message. Hi, I'm Olivia from IT Resources. Wanted to chat about an open role opportunity with you. How do you get my number? Fuck, man. Shit pisses me off.
You gotta stop signing up for those weird links, dude. We know what you get into off stream.
The meth streams, those crazy ads.
Guy like this, you know what websites he's visiting. I mean, look at him.
Yeah, the problem is, Juicy, that's not a girl texting me. That's some, you know.
I
what
don't
it is.
know. I don't
Either
know.
a bot or some weird
So,
gamer. Can't say some shit live, bro.
dude, Sophie Rain actually leaked her top subs. A guy named Royal was at the top. Kind of weird. Do you have any correlation to that?
That's one thing, dude.
I don't
I don't
know.
know how people buy that shit, bro. It's crazy.
Ramble Rave?
It's crazy.
Ramble Rave? Does anybody want a Ramble Rave? 6 million.
Ole Miss kicking off.
Ramble Rave, boys? Ramble OnlyFans?
We should do. Wow. We should do that at some point, like a little half season like check in for the NBA like playoffs and shit.
What, like NBA preview?
Just like I don't know, like mid season like futures and shit. I'm telling you, man, I think there's gonna be. I don't know the Mavs like record or standing, but I think there's gonna be a lot of value on them if they're low.
It's probably green bean fucking. Oh my god, dude. I fucking love it, y'all. Y'all are funny. Juicy Melon, thank you for the sub, dude. I fucking missed that, I think. Thank you for the sub, dude. If I didn't already thank you. I see you in here. Appreciate you, bro. Y'all rock. We're at 208 subscribers, man. We had 200 people in here, Royal. Fucking 200, bro. That was crazy. That was awesome. I think conference play is straight back.
I think we all agreed out of that spot. There's a couple of them. I think Nebraska was our favorite.
I am the king of missing subs. Still got, because I'm the only one doing it, bro. You don't see anyone else doing it.
Dude.
Here's the thing. See here, I step up, right? I will fall on the sword, Dilgod. I'll fall on the sword. I'm a team player.
Whenever I have Twitch up, my computer explodes. We know this.
Yeah, you're acting like I don't have fucking 8 monitors here, dude. Check this shit.
You have a computer.
Look
I
what
have a
Santa
fucking laptop.
Look what Santa got me.
Nice.
Hold on.
You have a big ass gaming computer, bro. I'm using an HP laptop on 3 monitors.
Bro,
Surely that'll go
gaming
well.
computer? What? I have a MacBook Pro. What do you mean a gaming computer?
I could have sworn you had a PC.
No, bro. I talk to women. Occasionally. Actually, one. I talk to one woman.
Yeah, you better word that carefully.
Look at this. Look at that beautiful thing, man. Oh.
Wait, hold on. That is sick. Wait, is it if it's D-Rose retirement, I Knicks might get fucking waxed.
No, I'm just playing, dude. PCs are cool. I'm just playing.
Yeah, don't do juicy like that.
Shit, I built mine. Oh, dude, that's next
Jeff
level.
had one, though.
You're building PCs, man. I don't know. No, just kidding.
Jeff has one, dude. I mean, that says all you need to know. Appreciate
CP
you,
up
CPUP.
from 63rd. Oh, CPUP, sorry. Appreciate you, dude.
CP up.
We feed
No,
off y'all's
you're
energy.
probably
too.
right. CP up from 63rd.
I don't know. It's either CPUP or CPUP sounds cooler. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, it does.
Nah, but shout out y'all, man. Like we feed off y'all's energy for sure. You know.
CP.
So like whenever y'all should, like we had 200 people in here, dude. That makes me want to stream all day. Like everyone was showing love. Makes me want to stream. Obviously, it's anything. When people are clapping, you're like, all right, okay, I can do this. This is fun. And then when people are throwing tomatoes, you're like, oh shit, man.
T-Bone from the Raptors.
What do you say? Let's trim the neck beard and lay off the Mountain Dew. Honestly, dude, you might need to clean your chair. Honestly, throw the whole chair out and buy a new one because you're gonna need it.
Damn.
You're gonna need it, dude. Imagine what their carpet looks like. Ugh. You know when you walk in. I remember in college whenever I walked in one of my boys' house, that was super like. I could tell it was a nasty ass crib just by the carpet.
Oh yeah.
It has all these weird dark stains on it. You're like, I don't even know what
Musty shit.
substance that is. Yeah, it's like Jesus, brother.
Tell your friends.
It's a cool
What's your
community,
question,
right?
brother?
Yeah, what question you guys got?
Score first. Obviously, Zay Flowers is the best receiver in the league, right? Pro Bowler. All right, I got chill on that. I like Zay, but that shit was crazy to me.
I mean,
Probably Mandrews.
I have no thoughts. I mean,
I'd take Mandrews. Feel like he scores a good amount first.
I saw everyone was talking about Brian Thomas getting chipped. Is that like
Dude,
really
he
the
did.
only guy that? Was it really just between those two guys? Like,
Nah, there's a few, but I mean it's tough because like Jerry Jeudy has the stats, like he's having a good year, but I mean Brian Thomas deserves it over Jeudy and Flowers all day, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I guess it's impressive, Jeudy. I mean, with shitty Watson, Winston, and DTR, and now Zappy, like I guess it's a little more impressive, but I don't know. I mean, Zay Flowers barely has 1,000 yards and only 4 touchdowns.
everything
Brian
I've heard,
beats him in every single category.
everything I've heard about Baby's new album is it's horrible. But I haven't listened to it personally.
I only
so I'm
listened to
not
the
gonna
one
say it's
song.
bad.
Honestly, I didn't even know he did.
I'm just seeing clips on Twitter with people listening to it, being like, so.
Dude, is it all fan voting? I can't remember. I think it is, right?
Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
Should be. Doesn't mean anything.
I mean, Max Crosby hasn't done shit this year. They got to get rid of him, man. They really do. Like, you're rebuilding. You're going to get a fucking haul for him, man. 100%.
I'll look at it real quick.
Sam Darnold has to be, bro. That dude's playing insane. Dude, I brought up I really think it's an interesting conversation. I've been bringing it up. It's like, what do you do with Darnold and McCarthy? Because Darnold's going to want a bag. I don't think he's going to play for a franchise tag. And you just drafted McCarthy, what, like 12th or whatever it was? 13th? 14th?
Dude, I mean, Darnold's going to – I think I replied to your tweet, actually. It was –
yeah, but you never answered what you do with McCarthy.
you keep him. I mean, it's the harm in him
keep him,
sit number 2, develop him.
But Darnold's going to want a bag.
Dude, Darnold is not that type of guy, bro. It just, to me, Darnold's a guy that will sign for the amount that will get him enough. Like he wants to play for this team again, bro.
I'm
Why
saying,
the
how
fuck-
do the Vikings get rid of him?
Who?
Darnold.
How do they get rid of him? Why would they want to get rid of him?
He's playing insane because he's going to want a bag, and they just drafted McCarthy.
That's the thing. I don't think he needs a bag. I don't think he wants a bag. So I put myself in Sam Darnold's shoes, a guy that hasn't had a
QB
shot.
money, dude.
Okay, not everything's about money to everybody, though, Royal. Like,
Dude,
Darnold's
come on.
in a
Look
different
at the other QBs, bro.
it's in a different. He's still
One
going to make a
injury,
good
his
amount of
career's
money, dude. All right,
One injury, his career's done.
relax. He's not that guy. Or you high, or you're not watching Vikings, bro. What am I saying? That's so asinine here. I'm saying Darnold, I don't think isn't the type of guy to want a bag. I think he'll do what's necessary to stay on the team. I think he likes his situation in Minnesota. I don't think he's just going to ball out for Minnesota and then fucking leave for a bag at some shitty team. Maybe I'm wrong, but for me, a guy who hasn't had a shot and being good and finally in a situation where like a team's believing in him, why would he want to leave Minnesota, dude? He's going to take whatever they fucking give him.
It's all about security, though. One torn
Dude,
ACL,
he's
one
going to make
shoulder injury,
he's going to
he's
make
done.
tens of millions of dollars.
Bro, look at the QB contracts.
It's
Like,
take money
that's-
out. Where do you think he's going to go play? You think he's just going to go to the Browns? Like, well, who the fuck? Like, where is he
No,
going
I
to go?
don't. But he's gonna say, "Look what I did. You need to pay me,
Hundreds of millions of dollars he'll make. Like,
bro." That shit doesn't mean anything to them.
he's definitely getting paid, but he's not like going to another team for like a bigger bag. I just don't see that at all. He's not
No,
some
but I'm
diva
saying
wide receiver.
Minnesota has to pay him.
He's going to
That's the
get paid. He's not going to get the same contract as where he stands now for sure. I mean, he's going to get more than $10 million for sure.
I think we're on different things here. Because
You think that Darnold's going to get a massive QB bag and Minnesota can't pay it, so he's going to go somewhere else?
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, what do you do though? Do you give him that long-term deal? Dude, at the end of the day, if it's about money or not, these guys still want security. He wants a long-term deal because if anything happens to him,
I'd give him
he still wants to get paid. He knows
3
he's
for
done.
150.
You still want security when you're playing this well.
You see
Thank you,
Watson.
Jesse.
Yeah,
He's gonna want, dude. He's still young. He's 27. He's gonna want 4 or 5 year deal, 3 or 4 year deal, and they have to pay him. But now they gotta pay. They just paid Jettas. You're gonna have to pay some of these defensive guys. That's my point. It's like, do you pay him, or do you roll with McCarthy and send Darnold off? But he's playing some insanely good football.
Is it really like it's that tight where if they pay him what we're
No, it's
talking
not that
about,
it's
gonna
that tight.
affect the
It's mostly you just drafted McCarthy this early, so it's just like,
Hey,
what do you do?
I think you develop him if they're smart. If they're smart, they develop him.
Dude, that's like, you can't do both. You're gonna have to pay Darnold.
You can't keep McCarthy and pay Darnold. It's
I mean, you
not
can, but it's
possible.
just like, why would you? I just don't think it's gonna work out. No, it's possible. He's on a rookie deal, but it's like Darnold's gonna want that job security for 3 or 4 years minimum.
Trade JJ for immediate
That's what I'm saying. You think
impact.
McCarthy being picked that high? I mean, I don't know.
I don't think you could possibly even think of putting McCarthy ahead of Darnold after what Darnold's been producing.
That's what I'm saying. But then that's where it gets interesting.
Almost
is
impossible.
He's gonna want a 3 or 4 year deal minimum, maybe even 5.
Well, I think the way we're
100%.
talking about it seems like this year might be like they're going to be going all in on this year. Like
Oh, they
it
have
could
to.
be a step back next year. You're right. I mean,
They have to. Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, are we
he's playing
real in
with-
saying that Darnold's going to play I mean, if Darnold is consistent year over year with how he's playing right now, then
I think in this system,
Who
yes, or yeah, 49ers potentially. But no, I mean, we saw everywhere he went. I mean, Carolina was a dumpster fire. Don't get me wrong, but that Jets team was a joke. Just look at every QB that has played for Kevin O'Connell. They blew out expectations. I mean, Kirk Cousins is one of the better QBs in the league for a couple of years. Josh Dobbs was decent. I mean, for being there for a few days, few weeks.
Mhm.
Just every QB balls out there. So do I think Darnold is going to be good elsewhere? I don't know. But, I mean, dude, look at Kirk. Dude's struggling in the Falcons. Is it the injury? I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both.
probably not throwing a Jay Jettas either.
That too, yeah.
Drake London's good, but he
and
ain't no
Addison.
Justin Jefferson, bro.
And Addison and Hawkinson. Even that Naylor dude's good, bro. See, that's what
All
I'm
right.
saying, Juicy. I mean, it gets real interesting, man. Because I mean, how he's gonna get paid? It's just a matter of who pays him.
All right, shall we ramble rave? Are there enough folks in here with some energy? Shall we? Shall we? See what chat wants. Let's wrap it on up. Yeah, we gotta fuck off, TR. That was a good one, though. Good one, Ro. 2 hours.
Was it 2 hours? Holy shit!
Yeah, it's a fat one. Absolutely. All right, bud. Let me get it set up.
I gotta turn this UNC game on. I want to watch Shrewsbury.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch some of my games. All right, boys. Y'all know what to do, man. I don't gotta say too much.
Hunter Salas might be back. I know it's early, but 2 for 2. He's been playing some great ball.
This song is so fucking good. We got the DJ set up.
Oh, low key. Bring back Fields, man.
If you haven't been here before, Bama test tube. Come on. Come on. Win some bets
Yeah,
today,
you didn't
Dylan.
see that. You didn't see that.
Come on. When the beat drops, I need a spam. I found some test tubes. Get ready to play. Are you ready? Come on. On the drop. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Nice. It's been a pleasure today, alright? Really fun hanging out. Alright. Have a great Saturday. Might be live tomorrow. It's a pleasure. DJ, MJ, y'all bet. You guys tomorrow. Nice.
I've spent a lot of time, Joe, meeting everybody in the company. Backstage, I'm standing with everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. There's double check this what the he wants.
One more. One more. One more. Come on. On the drop. Wait. Wait. All right, here we go. One more. Spam him.
Do you think about the days when we sat down smoking wine and drinking haze? Or is it the other way? Is it the
Come
other
on.
way?
That was Saturday, eh?